Pin check. Clipboard. Ew. Okay. Hey, Mike. If you want to jump on the live, you can. I'm just like doing this new thing called Red Cup Nayka because I always have my red cup and I'm always drinking when I'm recording and I need to get some streaming hours in. So, yeah. So, hit the link if you want to hop on the live and I'll add you. You could talk shit about what you want to talk about, Canelo, plans, whoever y'all want to talk shit about today because that's what y'all always do. My red cup um hasn't knocked in yet, but it will because I need it. Let's see. I wish I could see who was online. Pin chat. You can have pin message. I'm getting a little savvy with this YouTube thing. I have the link pinned to the chat if you guys want to hop on and talk your shit. Um, it would be nice if you guys had a red cup too to talk your shit, hop on. I guess I'll let a couple of people hop on. I have to have some people who are not scared to get on camera to hop on because everybody loves to talk shit behind their profile pictures. But people, let's hop on, talk your shit, grab your cup. I just started, so I just put the link out there so that I have to wait for people to migrate over here. I wish we could play music on here. And maybe I should because I'm not even monetized yet. They saw they could like demonetize me. Let me find some music. Um, China. I don't have an OnlyFans page, so this is the wrong place. If you're looking for an OnlyFans page, I can direct you to the right direction. If you want to find someone with OnlyFans page who's into boxing, I can give you that information. But over here, it's not gonna happen. Hey, Julius, you want to hop on? I have the pin um, link for anybody that wants to hop on and just talk about anything sports related, I guess. Mainly boxing, but I watch all sports, but um, I know that people are online going crazy about Canelo. So if anybody wants to hop on, the link is pinned. Um, yeah, ain't it talking about some what's the OnlyFans page? Do you see me showing any motherfucking titties and ass on here to promote any OnlyFans? Take that somewhere else, buddy. The fuck? That's what the D and F must stand for. All right, Zavante, are you? Oh, you see, the yo, people are crazy. See, this is what I get for trying. We could talk football. Yeah, we could talk football. I'm a Niners fan. We could talk football. But look, I had this guy just hop on and put his whole fucking dick on the screen, yo. Like, really? That's what y'all like to do on here on YouTube? Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. And it probably wasn't even your dick. Probably wasn't even your dick. Oh my God. That was doing the most. Wow. I wish I could like I hope that StreamYard can track who logs on like that because you was really doing the most. And I guarantee that was not your dick that you hopped on here with. And it's even worse that you had the man's dick saved in your phone for you to do that. Like, what made you come over here to do that? I would love to know. I would love to know. I would love to know. Red cup doesn't mean show your dick on here. Wow, y'all be doing the most. See, I'm glad a man did that. I want y'all to see how corny some of you men are to hop on here and show your dick like that. Like, seriously, was that necessary? Oh, I can't wait to run that back to see who that was. I know that wasn't his real profile, so I didn't smile hard. It probably wasn't even his dick. And it was probably the guy who's over here, this guy right here. It was probably him because he doesn't have a profile picture right here. Um, so I know it was you because the name was Deontay or Devontae or whatever you want. You want? Are you happy that you showed your dick like that? Hey, Julius, did you see that? Did you see that?
Hey, I can see you.
Love princess. Okay, I know people are you gonna talk, Love princess? See that? Yo, people are doing the most. Wow. Are you seeing people are coming up here showing their dick? Like, this is not.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why
that's crazy.
I just need to. I'm gonna add people that I know. I'm only gonna add people that I know because y'all doing the worst over here. So what do you want to talk about, Julius?
Hey
Wow, I
man,
cannot believe people are showing their dick on here. Like,
well,
really,
I won't be
really?
showing mine.
Yeah, I know because I know you, Julius, and I. You're not
Yeah,
supposed to
that
be
was
doing all that.
yeah,
No.
that'll be definitely out of character there. Hey, look, I heard some crazy stuff today. So Rick Glazer had
Oh
he
yeah, he
had put out
tweeted
a tweet
a
about
foul.
Canelo, right?
Oh, I thought
About
you were gonna say a
Canelo.
tweet that he was talking about Rashidi Ellis because he did a crazy
Yeah,
tweet
he
about
been
his
he been
ex.
going hard on Rashidi. And you know, that's the crazy part though. Like I think sometimes we get so caught up in who's right or wrong in a negotiation that we kind of forget that we don't really know because we're not in it.
Yeah. So what do you think about the negotiations? Because Canelo's side
Talking about the
hasn't said anything.
Canelo and Plant.
Yeah, he hasn't said anything, so we are just left to speculate on his side, and that's what everybody's doing. They're speculating. Um,
I'm gonna say this. I think I think that both of them had good points. I think that Al Heyman offering him 40 million is that'll get your attention on a fight against Caleb Plant. You know, I think if Eddie Hearn was part of the negotiation, I can see why the negotiation didn't necessarily close because why would Eddie Hearn push Canelo to a fight on Fox with, what I'm saying, when he is doing all the fights for the zone. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying? It just never would make sense, you know. So if and then on Plant side, Plant said he agreed to everything, but I mean, who knows, He say he did. They offered him 10 million, and what his highest payday is 750,000. So
of course he's gonna
it
agree.
makes,
Of course
of
he's going to
course, I would
agree.
agree. You're right.
If they told him
Yeah,
to slice the chicken up and eat it raw and give you $10 million
yeah.
to take this fight, he's gonna slice that
Ex-
chicken up.
exactly, exactly. So I
See,
don't
somebody
know. That's
somebody wants to come in this chat right now, and their page name is Warrior Boxing. They don't have no picture or nothing, but y'all over here trying to show y'all dick and stuff on here. This is not OnlyFans. This is YouTube. This is YouTube. So
that.
Warrior Boxing, if
Yeah,
you wanna come in, you gotta show your face in the stream thing, because I'm not adding any more dicks on here. This is not the dick derby. Like, come on. This is not the dick derby.
that's crazy.
So what do you think about what Rick Glazer said about Rashidi Ellis?
I think he's too harsh on him. I think he's too harsh because unless he personally knows what happened, I mean, he's speculating and he pretty much calling the guy, you know, I mean, he's saying that he just a complainer, and you know, I'm gonna say this too. When it come down to De La Hoya, Oscar De La Hoya, he always have problems with his fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like De La Hoya always have problems. Even Ryan Garcia. Remember one time Ryan was saying he'll never fight again for him. You know, and then the
Yeah,
next
but
week he said he loved him.
yo, everybody's dropping dick in here, yo. I did not know
Really?
that. Yes, I somebody showed their
Ah,
face. Somebody showed their face, so I added them, and then as soon as I added him, he waited like 2 seconds and he drops a dick picture. Like, y'all really
wow.
is usually I know the UK likes to do that.
What's
Like,
up with that?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't want y'all. I don't want y'all dicks on here. It's not that serious. This is not the dick derby. This is Red Cups and Nayka. Y'all here to talk sweat. Y'all doing the most. Like, wow. And
Yeah.
no, so what I want to say about the Golden Boy, because I don't know if you saw um Franchon Cruz Dezern, she's also a Golden Boy boxer, a
Right,
female
right.
boxer, and she had a
Uh-huh.
like a long little rant on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh no, I
Um,
didn't.
yeah, she was saying that, she can't do nothing right. She's not getting fights, and it's crazy because she has belts, and then there's some female boxers on the Golden Boy roster who just had a title fight after a loss, and she's still on the shelf. So that's crazy.
Was
That
that
is
the
crazy.
flyweight? Was that the flyweight girl? I don't
Yes.
remember her name. But I'm gonna say this. In my opinion, De La Hoya, you know that I'm on Twitter all the time calling people race soldiers, right? Okay. I think that he has an issue with non-Hispanic fighters. Like
I heard
he
that.
like black fighters don't get a push on his with his promotion team. They did when Al Heyman and Richard Schaefer was running it, but since Oscar has started it, gotten back, I just don't see Oscar doing it. And then another thing, Oscar is so in love with himself, and trying to fight. I don't think he got time for those other guys. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So look, somebody else dropped a dick pic too. And you know what? Hey, I don't know if Ray's in the chat. Ray,
Wow. I
somebody
thought
used
Ray
your
Jackson
picture.
had jumped in.
No, I thought so too. They used his picture as a
Wow. To get
they
in to
used
oh
they
man, now
yeah,
they
they
getting
used Ray's
ridiculous
picture.
now.
Yeah, Ray, they had your God. They had your profile picture and see Hitman. I know Hitman.
Wow.
Hitman I know, so I'm gonna let him in. There you go. There goes
Oh
the
yeah.
Hitman. All
The
right.
people the people's champ,
The
right?
him I know. The
What's
people
going on,
champ.
my
Yes.
man?
I
What's
Good
saw
up,
you
morning
brother?
had
to
How
you.
you
your
doing, man?
have
Y'all
you
got
been
me when I
watching?
wasn't ready. I didn't think Nike was gonna let me on that quick.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I know
last
you.
time the
I
last
know
time I
you.
seen you, you was beating Art Man.
Yeah, last time you seen the
Yeah.
Hitman was doing what he does best, and that is whipping candy ass. Little jabroni got so
I
mad he had
think
to go back and
you
forth. Then Nike, look, this is exactly what happened. You ready? First of all,
yes,
the Hitman.
I had my own bout with him for like 30 minutes after the whole thing. It was crazy.
Yeah, Hitman was
And
gonna say first
I think
Hitman
the
laid
two
the
people
smack down on his candy ass, then Nike got the dirt, shoved it back up, killed his candy ass again, shoved him back down. Then the Hitman shoveled the dirt back up, whipped his candy ass again, whipped that other jabroni's candy ass. That what was her name again? The Jerry Alter, Jacqueline Alter. What was her name?
Jack
It
I
doesn't
didn't put
matter
him on
what her
here.
name was. Whipped both their candy asses and buried them again. Ever since then, nobody's heard from him since. Let's just keep it like that. Nayka, we did the world justice. Congratulations.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what? But I think you putting the smackdown on them, they got them pissed at me because let me tell you, when you had that first bout with Ari, I hit him up and I thanked him for coming on. And he didn't even hit me back or anything. I was just like, ooh, all right. It's just
Yeah,
like
the
a
Hitman's
debate
had to
on
lay the
YouTube.
smack it down on him a couple of times too, but you know.
I think he was upset and in his feelings about it because he didn't hit me back for anything like thinking like saying you're welcome or anything. I just said thank you for coming on. He did not want no parts of me, and so he
I
was
like I
upset.
like I
And I hope
like
you don't
Art
think it's
Man.
my
He real talented, man. I like Art Man. I'm talking about, doing the boxing shirts and stuff. He real talented.
The hitman
Yeah,
will
he
say this
is.
about him.
No, he actually did my logo for my boxing
Oh,
thing.
really?
It's in the corner right there.
Okay.
He did, but then he started
Mhm.
like doing them all. I'm not even gonna talk about him. Goodbye.
Yeah, I got
I gave him enough clap
I got
because
you.
he was doing the most. He was doing the most, and because then I had somebody stalking me on Twitter, and then he came in
Mhm.
here like he came in like on the thread of me saying somebody was stalking me and being like
Yeah.
cracking jokes, and it wasn't like it wasn't funny. So
Yeah, I seen this
whatever.
guy stalking you online. He was acting like y'all were dating or something. That was weird.
Yeah, and I'm like, no
Yeah.
lie, I don't even know you. I don't even know you. Nobody that knows. None of my people know him neither. So he was like making up these crazy things in his head, and he's probably watching right now. Um, uh, he's probably one of them guys who dropped the dick in here. To be
Right.
honest, I don't know,
He's
but
doing what?
whatever. No, I see you missed it before you came on. There were people that were like, I have the link pinned to the chat, and people were coming in here when I was adding them, and then they just started like dropping dick pictures.
Are you saying that little
Yes,
Kum Sa?
it was like no, I did three people already did it, and then somebody used Ray's picture as their profile picture. So I was like, oh, I know Ray, let me add him. As soon as I added him, he fucking threw a dick picture in there. I'm like, wow. This is not the dick derby. I told them this is stop trying to drop your dick in here. This is not OnlyFans. This is YouTube, all right?
Right.
You sick freak.
Crazy.
Yeah. I had three people already drop their dick pictures in here. Like, wow, this is
That's
not the dick
wild.
derby. Not the dick derby. Go to OnlyFans
Well,
for that. And I don't have an OnlyFans, so go find somebody else. All right, I
But
know my
Hitman, what you think about the Canelo situation with
well, the
um
hitman says
with the
this:
plant?
if Caleb Plant did agree to all the terms and Canelo still backed out of the fight, well, tough luck. It's all Canelo's fault. And there's two things we can do about it: absolutely nothing, and like it. Now, this whole situation with Dimitri Bivol, this is
Uh-huh.
also bullshit. I'm gonna just say that
Right.
that whole situation with Bivol. Look, either go up to 75 or have him come down to 60. Stop saying, "Oh, we don't know this." Go to catch weight and this and that. Look, if you willing to go up to 75 for Kovalev, bring your monkey ass back up to 75 for Bivol. Bivol's not a big light heavyweight.
Right.
Bivol's a 68 pounder fighting that light heavyweight.
yeah.
That's true.
And,
And
and look, the
and I'm
hitman
gonna
says
say
this.
another.
Does the hitman think
Uh-huh.
Canelo's pound for pound number one on the planet? Absolutely. Does hitman think Canelo's acting like pound for pound number one diva on the planet? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the hitman says this. In
Hmm.
boxing, we want to see the best fight the best. So Canelo, hitman says this. Know your role. Just shut your mouth. Find the fighter. Sign the contract. And just fight. That's it. Not that
What
bad.
when what Nayka, I got something kind of controversial to say about it. And I
You're not
like
you're not gonna
Canelo
you're not
too.
gonna you're
But
not
I
gonna drop a dick
but
pic, right?
no, oh no, 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 not that type of
Okay.
controversy. All right. Never.
I had
Never.
three people
But let
already
me
drop their dick pictures
never.
in here,
Hey,
and
look.
I know all those people that drop dick pictures in here. That wasn't even their dicks. So these are guys
Right,
saving dick pictures to their phone and then coming
right.
in here drop a dick. Like what the
Like
fuck,
I
That's
yo?
said,
it's
fans are a little
weird.
Y'all don't have nothing else better to do
I
on a
Kumsi.
Friday?
look, look. I want to talk sports and boxing. I ain't thinking about sex. But let me say this, and this is gonna be a little controversial, but I got a theory about it. So like, there's people, players, and athletes in different sports, right? Like Barry Bonds, um, Evander Holyfield. I love those guys, right? But those guys both had a steroid pass.
Mm,
My theory on why Canelo wants to continue to have short notice type fights and catch weight fights is I think that's, that VADA testing and stuff, and those guys are afraid of that. And if you get a fight 6 weeks out, you're not going to have time enough to drug test. I'm not calling him a drug cheat. I'm just saying he's been caught before, and all his fights are last minute replacements and, catch weights and getting fights on guys with 6 week notice. I'm just saying, man, I know we be
so wait,
loving these guys, but They're human.
BJ Saunders was the same way too, or no?
Yeah, BJ Saunders, that fight came together in like 7 weeks.
Billy Joe
And
Saunders. Who's Billy Joe Saunders to the Hitman? A nothing, a nobody, a peon, a
yeah.
blemish on the Hitman's buttocks. We will not
I
bring
don't
up
think
Billy
they.
Joe Saunders
I don't
on this
think that
show.
Canelo needs to. I don't think Canelo needs to like do all this extra stuff, like having fights last minute and doing like. Do y'all see what he do to these people in the ring? Like y'all are tripping. He does not need to do the extra short minute fights and stuff like that to get a win. I'm sorry, he cracked
I'm not saying
BJ
I'm not
Saunders
saying he do it to
face.
get a win. Let me say this: Canelo and those guys would beat Billy Joe Saunders on any day at any weight class with 40 weeks. They could give BJ Saunders a whole year to get ready. He would still get beat and knocked out in a fight. I'm just talking about. Look,
So what? I
I'm
want you to
just
list all
saying
the
it's
short
it's.
notice fights. I want you to list all
But
the short notice fights.
I feel like he's
Go
cycling.
ahead. Mike.
Checkmate, your mic is a little wonky.
Okay, how about
Julius.
now?
All
Yeah.
right. All right, there you go. I want you to list all the short notice fights that Canelo
Okay.
had. You can't make a statement
Short
like
notice
that.
fights. Short notice fights that he had. BJ Saunders, Sergey Kovalov. Who was that? Rocky Feldon. What is this guy? The guy he beat with the mandatory from Turkey. He stopped the guy in like 2 or 3 rounds. Yield him or something
The
like
dude with the
that.
messed up haircut.
Yeah, that was a complete bum.
Yeah, the one
Anthony
with the
Durrell had beat
58-pound
him.
head.
Yeah. That he beat for the WBC I don't know, interim or vacant title.
No, what had
Yeah,
happened was he fought Callum
that's
Smith on short notice, right? Fought
and
Callum
Callum
Smith on short
Smith,
notice.
exactly. That's 6
Whipped his
fights
candy ass.
there.
Then he beat up on
And
Joe
look,
for
Cold.
mandatory after.
hey, and listen, we can go
So let
back
me get
into
this
the
straight. So Canelo only likes to do short notice fights, catch weight fights to win. That's not what he
no, I
Okay,
didn't say
okay.
that.
Hey,
No,
hey,
I
hear me
didn't
out.
say
Hear me
that.
out.
Yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
let me let me say this. Hey, Julius, let me put this in. Think
Go
about it.
ahead.
When he fought at 154, he created his
Checkmate.
own weight class.
Oh, is that
155.
checkmate boxing?
What's going on,
Is
Mike?
that checkmate?
What's up, buddy?
Look, y'all can't trust nothing this man says. All right, he is the
Oh, here we go.
absolute.
Name one thing.
Hey,
Name one thing.
what happened with Brazil and Wilder? They were never supposed to fight. You said they was never.
Who said that?
Who said that?
Mike, I don't know. Mike, I don't know who you were attributing to Brazil and Wilder, but
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
Wilder and Brazil
we
didn't fight.
we haven't even talked about the heavyweights.
On the
We
box,
haven't talked about the heavyweights at
but,
all.
Wilder and Brazil
let me
didn't
get
fight.
let me get back to my point. Let me get back to
Go
my
ahead.
point, Nayka. Canelo created his
That was murder.
155 weight class.
It wasn't a fight. That was
Right?
murder.
So everything that he's doing, he's trying to catch people out of their comfort zone. So not only is he doing a short notice, but then creating his own weight class. And again, just like Julius said, I believe he's cycling out. Now, whether y'all think that he's still on clenbuterol, but if he cycle out past a certain point, he's already, getting the repetitions in the gym to take advantage of, all the benefits he gets from that. So when it's finally get tested, it's not going to show as much.
See, that's
But
what
this is the nature of who you guys call pound for pound.
What's up with all this speculation?
Yeah, exactly. Mike.
Well,
Yeah,
listen,
let's talk
you know
speculation,
what?
not-
I was the person that started the speculation, and so I will address why I said what I said. Okay, the number one reason is I can remember probably 6 or 7 years ago, right? I'm a fan of Canelo, but I seen him fight Jose Cotto.
Canelo, I don't see Canelo. I don't see Canelo fan on you. I don't see Canelo fan on you.
Well,
I'm just
I'm a fan of boxing, but I gotta be honest. I love it. Let me say this. I love it. Let me say this. I'm a Evander Holyfield fan, but guess what? Evander Holyfield used steroids during his career. You get what I'm saying? He used steroids. He had steroids shipped to his home that the FBI picked up And it on it, it had Evan Fields. Look, I just got to be honest, and I love Evander. I love Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds the greatest baseball player to ever live. But guess what? He used steroids. It doesn't mean you hate the person. It just means you pointing out a part of their history.
Again,
That's all I'm saying.
Your mic is fucked up.
Barry Bonds never failed any kind of drug test.
Never failed a drug test. Absolutely right.
Can you
He
say
never failed a drug test.
if you ain't got
But he did use.
even his
But
training?
he admitted, he said it was flaxseed oil.
Right.
He said he thought it was flat. We know he was cheating.
You know what?
He cheated.
I'm willing
I
to
love Barry Bonds, but facts are facts.
his training
Facts are facts.
jail though, bro. To not incriminate Barry Bonds. So Barry must not have been doing something. If your trainer is willing to go to jail voluntarily, come on, man.
Barry Bonds admitted that he used it. Barry Bonds admitted. Let me say another fact. Nayka, you are a very attractive lady, but I'm pretty sure you have dated some bums before, right? It doesn't take away from you being an attractive lady. It just might mean you dated a bum, right? So these things happen. People that we like do things that we can't understand. And I'm saying from my perspective, the guy is cycling off.
I think my connection
Yeah.
is bad.
Oh, I can hear you.
You're a little bit choppy.
Or maybe
Yeah.
YouTube didn't like what you were saying. That's what it is.
But what I'm just saying, I feel that Canelo, when he said that he got the steroids from eating meat, that's what made me think that this guy could be cycling off. And like I was saying about Cotto, not Miguel Cotto, but his brother, he hurt the man real bad in a fight. And now 7-8 years later, 20 pounds or 28 pounds, because people forget Canelo turned pro at welterweight. He's breaking guys' faces up at 175. How is that?
Canelo started boxing when he was 15, though.
Okay.
Yes,
But trust me, at 15, he was fighting amateur type fights. He wasn't fighting no world class fighters at 15.
Absolutely. He was in Tijuana bars. Absolutely.
Exactly. So all of them was fighting at 15. Everybody was fighting at 15.
If he started at 147 professionally, and
he did.
And he was 15 when he started boxing, that means he was a kid. So you can't look at it as a kid.
But no, the fight that I said, my brother, he won 15. He was a grown man.
We let you talk. Can I finish, please? Thank you. Canelo turned pro at 15, 16 years old. So you cannot look at him and say he started at 147 and now he's at 168. He was a kid that had to grow into a man. When he was a man, he was probably fighting at 160 or 154 or 155, the Canelo weight. So now that he's at 168 in his early 30s, you see that maturation. You don't see the same guy or like a Earl Spence who started pro at 147. He was a grown ass man when he started pro. That's the difference between Canelo starting pro at 15 and where he's at now. He was able to mature and maturate into that grown man body that he has.
The fight that I said, the first fight that I said. Well, hold on. Let me address what he said because I let him talk. All I was saying to you, my brother, was the first fight that I said something about. Canelo wasn't a child anymore. He was an adult, and that was on a Mayweather undercard. He was fighting at 47 and 54, but he was an adult at that time. And here's another thing. I'm not saying that what he doing ain't good because I think it's great. I'm not high on BJ Saunders. I wasn't high on Callum Smith. These guys, and I got to give Eddie Hearn his credit tonight. Eddie Hearn is a great promoter because a lot of these guys that he be pumping up, these guys are to me, they on the club level to a contender, maybe. But he make them sound like they are some great fighters, like BJ Saunders or Callum Smith. That's why Canelo knows he can beat those guys under any circumstances. So I mean, cause look, he fought Lara, he fought Trout, and all of those were fights that you didn't know if Canelo won or lost. It was a 50-50 fight the whole way. So
Wait,
I
can
don't
I stop you
understand
for
what
one second? Because I want you to
Sure, go
read some
ahead.
of I want you to read some of these wonderful comments in these
Okay.
chats. Okay. All right. So I know this is Lefty right here. He says that clenbuterol is in a steroid. It has steroid properties, but it's ephedrine. You ain't even got the facts.
It's
Um,
a masking agent, man.
Yeah,
um,
Come on, bro.
somebody said
we
clenbuterol is steroids now. Breaking news. Do your research, guys.
It's clenbuterol is a masking.
no,
And
it's a
then
way.
again, Lefty says
Clenbuterol
you
is
can
a
test
performing
ten.
enhancing
Masking
drug.
drug.
It allows you to be able to have more when notice.
No,
He started getting on that after the
No,
first
let me
GGG.
read
Let me
one.
get
Let
this
me
out,
read one
Mike. You
more.
don't have to
Let me
jump
no,
over
read.
me,
you
sir.
you
Let
give
me get
out
this out. Let
false
me get this out.
information.
Let
You
me
give
get
out
this
false
out, sir.
information, bro.
Let me read one
Clenbuterol
more.
is
Let me read
something
one
Listen.
more.
So
that helps you lose
remember,
weight
Canelo was
and
getting
regain weight.
tired.
It
Canelo was
helps you
getting
lose weight
tired
and
after
regain mass.
every fight, right? So all of a sudden, after GGG beat his ass that first fight, all of a sudden the clenbuterol start popping up, right? All of a sudden his endurance start, getting better. All of a sudden now, WBC is going to say, hey, we're going to allow this clenbuterol.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, these are the facts. And nobody, whether it's a steroid or not, it's a performing enhancing drug. That's plain and simple. Now, let me ask this question to everybody on the panel. I want everybody to answer this. Listen, what weight class has Canelo dominated?
But wait,
What weight
I'm gonna
class
read
that he
one more.
actually
I'm gonna
ran
read one
through?
more
He
thing.
lost to Floyd at
I'm gonna read
154.
one more thing.
He never cleared out any
Hold on,
division.
but hold
He
up.
lost to
Wait.
he only fought 2 fighters at
Man, look that
160.
nigga.
He fighting these
I'm trying
Euro
to mute
bums
him.
at
The shit
168,
don't
and he
work.
fought
Just
The
old
keep
shit don't
Kobe at
work.
talking.
175.
The shit don't work. The shit don't work. I'm trying to mute him.
You
Hey,
can't just keep talking, man. Like, what's up?
I gotta have a chat with free StreamYard. I be trying to mute people and they could just unmute themselves. Shit
Oh,
ain't
okay.
right.
Go ahead,
So
now. Then
Lefty
I'm
says
gonna just
like you can test 10 random Mexicans and 5 will test for trace amounts of clenbuterol. That's how rampant it is in the meat there. And I agree. The soccer team, it was like a whole Mexican soccer team who they all tested positive for clenbuterol. Um, and has he tested positive for anything after that one incident? I just, I'll unmute you. But I feel like there's just a lot of Canelo hate. I know I'm a Canelo
no.
fan. I love Canelo, but it really is a lot of Canelo hate in here tonight.
No, he is absolutely right. Canelo failed a PED test, 2 of them, and he has that label and going to have that label, so people have a right to have suspicion.
No,
But
definitely.
he is enrolled in the vital testing program. Now I'm gonna
No,
talk
he
How many
the
times have you been tested?
WBC testing.
whatever,
He
man.
might get so.
He's a
How
vital,
many times? When have you hear him getting tested?
bro. Vada comes out and say, "Welcome Canelo and whoever to the program."
Random, Mike.
It's random, really? I didn't know that. Really, you're telling me something that I don't know. It's random.
Exactly. So if there's a lot of certain fighters get tested a lot, and then Canelo just happened to get tested not a lot. Okay, and he certainly don't get tested when he's not in fight mode, because that's one thing Caleb Plant brought up. Caleb Brandt brought up and says, "Hey, when is he going to sign this contract so we can go through this testing?"
Breathe. Stop talking. I got plenty of time, bro. I'm not going nowhere. We can have a conversation back and forth. Please.
Yeah, because tonight, wait, let me just make a statement before everybody go. Tonight is just like I just started this series called Red Cup Naykas because I always have my red cup. I'm not gonna tell you what's in it, but adult juice and and I feel like people who love to talk their shit, so this is the perfect time to like on a Friday night to get your shit off. Mike has he got his nice little spliff in his hand, I don't know. In the chat, everybody, let us know what you're drinking tonight. But go ahead. Who was next? I think Mike. Mike, go ahead and rebuttal. Oh, you got Corona? That's a Corona, Mike?
Yeah. I normally drink Modelo, but I decided to like switch it
Oh,
up.
you
So,
all right. He's
I like the imported beer or whatever that shit called from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So salute to all my, you know what I'm saying, the Cate drinkers and my Modelo Corona drinkers. No, I'm free. I love Mexican beer. But anyway, bro, I agree with you. Canelo got caught cheating and he has to live with that. But he is enrolled in the clean boxing program and he does VADA. We got a big fight coming up in about 16 days.
And I haven't heard any testing about that.
I got news for you. Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, I haven't seen nothing that says they're enrolled in VADA. I've seen Manny Pacquiao say, I gave VADA a sample. I've seen Errol Spence say we're doing VADA testing. I haven't seen VADA do what they normally do and say, welcome to the program, Errol Spence Jr. and Manny Pacquiao. So if we're going to do all this hate for Canelo, somebody who is in the clean boxing program, who's doing VADA for his testing, why we ain't saying nothing about Errol Spence and Pacquiao, who got a fight coming up in about 16 days?
Mike, I would love to find out when the last time Canelo was tested. I would love to find that out. But listen, let me clear out all the misconceptions. I am not a Canelo hater. What I hate is the problem. Oh, you Nayka, you shut up before I take that cup out your hand. Listen, I am not. I was a Canelo fan because I'm a fan of talented boxers. All right. When I jumped off the Canelo train is when he started 1999. Instead of the COVID-19, he started the Duck 19. When he ducked his IBF mandatory, when he ducked his WBC mandatory with Charlo, and of course IBF with Devchenko. When he ducked WBO Andre for Undisputed, that's when I say, whoa, we got a problem here. So he refused to fight all of them, and then who did he choose? He only fought 2 fighters at 160. Then he going to fight a fucking Rocky Fielding. I said, hold up. How is this guy going to proclaim? I'm not done, Mike. I'm not done.
You talking 30 minutes at a time?
I'm not fucking done. Let me fucking finish my fucking sentence.
Man, hurry up and finish the goddamn sentence.
Hey, y'all. If we want everybody to be heard, we have to be respectful of each other. This is me being the I guess the grown up Nayka.
Can the hitman ask
each other? We can't hear y'all.
Checkmate. Can the hitman ask you a question?
Yes, and then I'll unmute him. But y'all screaming over each other, and then nobody can hear the good points that you guys are making. So y'all gotta let each other speak. All right?
They not making no good points, Nayka.
All right, making the points that you're trying to make. How about that? We gotta let each other speak. Go ahead, man. What you want to ask?
Man, he fought the greatest man at the time, Triple G. Come on, like we ain't gonna say that he ducked his way out when he fought Triple G 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, like, what are we saying?
So here, man, what do you want to ask Checkmate?
First, I want to ask him: is he still alive?
Is that Canelo is taking the path of least resistance?
All right, so he's still alive.
They all take the path of least resistance.
Mike, shut the fuck up and start trying to apologize for a fucking quitter, for a ducker. Stop it.
Will you shut your mouth, stop screaming at the top of your lungs, and answer the damn question, jabroni?
What was the question?
Bro, can you quit that rock shit, man? Talk like you.
All right, you know what? Fine.
Thank you, man. Talk like you, my nigga.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, but you know what, Hitman?
Checkmate.
Everybody loves you when you know him because you know you're boxing, Hitman. Everybody knows.
All right.
You know your shit.
Right now.
Talk your shit, man.
Canelo credit for the Rocky Fielding win?
Excuse me, repeat that.
Did you give Canelo credit for the Rocky Fielding win?
Hell no.
Well, first of all, Canelo should. Who was Rocky Fielding? Did you know who Rocky Fielding was before Canelo fought him? Did you answer that question, sir?
Yeah, I did. Me?
Oh, you shut the fuck up, Mike. I'm talking to Hitman. Hitman, answer the question, sir. Did you know who Rocky Fielding was before Canelo fought him?
Yes.
Oh, you fucking liar.
Yeah, he said yes with a question mark. Yes.
You fucking liar.
All right, but just answer the damn question.
You never heard. He lying. You ain't never heard of that man a day in your life before Canelo fought him.
Answer the question. Just answer the question. Did you give Canelo credit for the Rocky Fielding win?
What do you mean give him credit? In what way? He won.
4 division champion with that win.
He won a belt. He won a belt. I have no listen. He won a belt. My point is My point is he ducked. He only fought 2 fighters at 160. I do not give Canelo credit for ducking your IBF mandatory, getting stripped, ducking your WBC mandatory, and getting franchise protected, so you no longer have to fight a mandatory, and then choosing to fight a Rocky Fielding. Listen, I come from the school where the fight the best on some King of the Hill shit to prove you the best. I don't come from no school. Let me take the path of least resistance and duck all this competition just so I can win cheap trinkets. No, Canelo, I have no problem with his skill. My problem is the fact that he's taking the path of least resistance. You don't call yourself number 1 pound for pound, and all of a sudden you're not fighting the best. Rocky Fielding, Yildirim.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So who is the best in that weight division to you? If it's not Canelo.
In what weight division?
And Canelo's in 168.
Well, see, you saying Canelo's division 168, but remember, he still holds the franchise at 160. Right, I think Jamal Charlo is number 1.
That's Jamal 168. Charlo. That's the wrong Charlo.
I say Jamal Charlo. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, man, come on, brother. Come on. Stop it. You know what I'm talking about. Let me answer the question, Nayka.
You talk boxing, you got to get it right.
Oh, you shut the fuck up. Listen.
I know you
listen. Listen, Nayka. I believe David Benavidez is the number 1, is the top fighter at 168.
How many belts?
I believe David Benavidez. I believe David Benavidez beats all of those fighters at 160. We're not talking about whether he lost it for cocaine. We're not talking about whether he lost it on a scale. We're talking about skill for skill. I believe David Benavidez is the number 1 at 168.
You really think he could be Canelo? No, I'm not gonna let you say that on this.
Nayka, can I say something?
Okay, but hold up.
Nayka,
let me address Hitman real quick, please. He asked, do we give Canelo any credit for the win over Rocky Fielding? I say no, because he fought Rocky Fielding for a regular title, not a real title. You can't have 2 belts and have one guy called super and one guy called regular. And also, he put Rocky Fielding on a rehydration clause that he couldn't come in 10 pounds over the weight. So with that being said, I can't give credit to Canelo for going up fighting somebody who's never been on that level. Only reason he got a belt because he went over to Germany and beat up Tyrone Zoic, who is an average fighter at best. So do I give him credit for Rocky Fielding? Absolutely not.
Only reason why I asked checkmate Devontae all the credit in the world for going up and beating Mario Barrios, who didn't really prove nothing at all, and he had a regular.
That don't prove shit to me. You gotta beat Josh Taylor. You gotta beat Ricky Prograis. Beating Mario Barrios ain't telling me nothing.
For me to
it ain't telling me nothing.
And look,
Nayka, can I make a comment?
Tank hasn't beaten no great fighters at 130 or 135.
Then you next.
Tank ain't beaten a Teofimo Lopez. He hasn't beaten a Vasil Lomachenko.
All right, so let me let Julius.
He hasn't beaten the best fighters at 135 or 130.
To go get revenge for his homeboy Malik Hawkins. Go fight Bria Matias. See what happened then.
Exactly.
See what happened then.
Hey, after Julius make his comment, I'll address you with that Tank situation, Hitman. I'm gonna let my brother Julius talk.
Go ahead.
All right.
Wait.
I was gonna
wait before Julius go. I just want to say something.
Yeah.
David Benavidez can't even beat the scale, and that's what I'm gonna say. All right, Julius, go ahead. Talk your shit.
All right. Okay, let me say something.
Damn cup, Nayka.
All right, Nayka. I'm gonna say this about David Benavidez and his weight issues, and if he can give Canelo a challenge and this and that. I will say this, in my opinion, cocaine and weight issue aside, because you're right, you gotta make weight, because if you don't make weight, it means nothing. But I will say this. David Benavidez, in my opinion, beats all them guys. And yeah, he's a guy that had really no amateur career. All that he did was his amateur career was being Triple G and Manny Pacquiao main sparring partners. But I will say this. Canelo, it's been years since he really been in a challenging fight, since the Triple G and Danny
Bingo.
Jacobs. And I don't think a lot of Danny Jacobs. And I love the brother,
Bingo.
but I gotta be honest. I'm not crazy about Danny Jacobs. And the next guy to hit Danny Jacobs with a good shot, I bet you he goes out cold. But I'm just being honest, man. I just feel that David Benavidez is a guy that can give Canelo a very, very tough fight. And I will say this: I don't think that Canelo has necessarily ducked Charlo, but I will say 100% that he ducked Boo Boo Andre. Even though, let me say this, even though I feel that Canelo would stop Demetrius Andre, I just remember the fight against.
Horrible
Hold
fighter.
on, no, he ain't a hard. Hold, let me say this. Nayka, he's not a horrible fighter, but I will say this. Yeah, Canelo said that. Right, but I will say this though. He remembered those fights against Trout and Lara, and I'm gonna say something. And this is an ethnic thing I'm about to say. A lot of guys are not crazy about getting in the ring with slick black fighters, whether they be southpaw
Facts.
or orthodox. It's just what it is. If you got a Puerto Rican or a Dominican fighter or Cuban fighter that got dark skin, nobody wants to get in the ring with them. It ain't me saying that. Look at the history of boxing. It's just the facts. Nobody is in a hurry to fight those guys, including Canelo, because look at his 4 toughest fights as a pro. Lara, Trout, Mayweather, Jacobs. And then the 2 with Triple G. All of them was black fighters. So he ain't in a hurry to get in the ring with him.
Wait. You saying Jacobs was one of his hardest fights?
Absolutely. Look at the fight. I'm just saying. Look at
Jacobs won the last 4 rounds. He didn't do anything the first 7 rounds.
Nayka, I know you don't. Can I finish this, brother? And then you can go right ahead. I'm not saying that Jacobs won the fight. I'm saying look at the scorecards and go back and look at that fight, and you tell me if Canelo breezed through it. It was, you know what I'm saying? If he breezed through that fight, you let me know.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was boring the first 6 or 7 rounds, and then every time they had, as far as getting in the mix of it, Jacobs won all of those combination battles. He just didn't have any activity like the first 7 rounds. So again, Canelo has never dominated a top fighter, and I'll go back to say it again. He never cleared out any division. He lost to Floyd in 54. He avoided certain fighters in 54. And then, of course, in 160, he only fought 2 fighters at 160, and of course, we know who he's fighting at 168. So you can't just say you the best. You got to prove the best. That was so beautiful about the Leonard area with Hearns and the Hagler and all, because they all fought each other. Now people are trying to maneuver and take the path of least resistance to trying to get these cheap trinkets to say, hey, I'm the best, but you got to fight the best. That's why hopefully I prove to you, Nayka, I don't hate Canelo. I hate the movement. I hate his current movement. And somebody say you don't think, Julius, you say you don't think he ducked Charlo? Charlo was his mandatory since 2018, sir.
Hold on, but
Charlo was his mandatory. You seen my video. I put out the video with WBCO Mauricio saying, yeah, Charlo is the mandatory, and the interim champion, you know what I mean? And he kept waiting, and all of a sudden, when WBC was getting to that beef with Canelo, had to force him to fight force him to fight Charlo. He threatened to drop the belt, and the WBC said, we're going to have to take the belt. And what they come up with, the franchise trinket. Okay, well, so it's as simple as that. Now, one last thing with the Andre, right? He said he didn't want to fight Andre for. Let me say this. Okay, he said he didn't want to fight Andre for undisputed because he said Andre was boring. Come on now.
Okay, so how do you have 10 top 10 pound
my opinion?
His career,
okay, on the panel,
carefully.
The people that are on the panel right now, who thinks that Andre is an exciting fighter?
Nobody.
Well, Well,
But he
hey,
still deserves his shot. We don't know if he still deserves his shot. He's a very
hold up
crafty
a second.
fighter.
Nayka, I will say this,
He's
Nayka.
not a bum.
Nayka, can I say this? He is definitely not the most exciting fighter, but neither is BJ Saunders. Billy Joe might be the most boring fighter. And let me say this too. Callum Smith was just a big old tall duck. You know what I'm saying? He was a guy that just stood straight up that couldn't fight. Man, look, like I said earlier, Eddie Hearn is a great promoter because he has people going crazy about those DAZN fights. And let's be honest, I
So
like
my question is for everybody. Y'all really think the Canelo is ducking Plant? Like seriously, because
no, I
see
don't
y'all
think he
saying
ducking Plant. No, I don't think he ducking
that he's
Plant.
ducking Plant, but I want to know, do y'all think he's ducking Plant? Because I don't see what y'all see in Plant. I really don't.
I would go first on
really
this one.
don't.
I'll go first on this one. No,
I'll go after
Canelo is
Julius.
not ducking. Canelo is 100% not ducking Plant because, in my opinion, Plant is going to be a little bit more competitive than BJ Saunders and Callum Smith and those guys, but I don't think he's gonna beat Canelo. But what I did say is I feel that Canelo is fighting another battle, and that is a battle with the VADA testing. I don't believe he want to. And the clean, and he's in the WBC clean boxing. And let me say this one thing, Nayka, and you won't hear me talk for a while. It's just like Franchon Cruz that you talked about, right? When Franchon Cruz lost her fight to the Mexican young lady Jimenez, and the girl tested positive for about 5 different steroids, right? You know that you know that the WBC was the last one to strip that girl, and so much so that they didn't even want to give the title back to Cruz. We got to call these people out, and we see so much corruption in boxing, and that's why it's hard sometimes to talk boxing because sometimes people don't want to see it from different angles if they like a person. But I'm just being honest. The WBC tried to protect that girl so much so that Cruz and them was thinking they was thinking about a lawsuit.
You know, they weren't expecting
WBC are racist.
And look, and the thing is, and you know what's crazy is that Canelo is a part of the WBC clean boxing program. But like I say, can we really trust, you know what I'm saying, the WBC?
Wait, okay,
And
there's
yeah.
somebody backstage that wants to come on, but you don't have a picture, my guy. And I don't, if you're not streaming your picture, I'm not gonna let you in because I don't know you, and because people have been dropping dick pics in here, like this is the dick derby. So I'm not gonna let you on if you don't show your face. So you're gonna be sitting there until you show your face. All right, good.
So let me say this, Julie. Let me that as well. When you asked the question, Nayka, do I think he's ducking Plant? Well, if you want to, he's avoiding the situation regardless. How can you say he gets 40 million plus pay-per-view plus everything he asked for, 100% that he asked for, but yet he don't want to take the fight? And then even after they said, well, no, it's too late to take this fight, then they try to go on and fight Bivol at a catchweight. That does not make any sense. So if Plant gave in to every single demand, you tell me, Nayka, what exactly is Canelo doing?
Nayka.
Why didn't he take the 40 million? Why didn't he take the fight?
I saw something on why he didn't take the fight. I want to pull it up, but I don't know my password for Twitter on the computer. But
I could tell you why he said.
That's you, Lefty? Because if that's not you, and then this motherfucker drop a dick pic, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Look,
if I add you,
Nayka, this is probably what you're looking for.
Let me see.
Nayka, this is what you're looking for.
Wait, let me see. All right.
This is what you're looking for. Canelo, the thing in the contract that said if he gets hurt or gets sick or something, that he gets a replacement fighter. And you know, instead of Plant, he still gets everything he asked for, even though it's not an undisputed fight. So you think so?
Yes,
All of a
with me.
sudden, he wants PBC to pay him that same exact rate for a non-undisputed fight versus a Yildirim or a Rocky Fielding type caliber fighter. That makes absolutely no sense, none at all. And guess what? And he moved off that date anyway, because now he's not even fighting in September. Now he's looking for November. It
So
just
what?
doesn't make any
So what?
sense.
So what? If
Nike, I
negotiations
know
are
you
not
love
made,
Canelo.
if
I
the
know you
negotiations
love
not
him, but
made,
let's talk logic
that's
here.
when the dates move. Why are y'all so fucking fixated on dates? That's crazy. If the fights are not
He was
made,
fixed.
the dates are gonna move. So then you
Okay,
guys
but
can't scream about last minute fights. They taking the last minute fights for 4 weeks
what?
this week. They moving into November. Now you're saying that's for the date. Like, come on, y'all, get the
Okay, I
hating shit.
asked,
Get off the
but you
hating
never
shit. Get
answered
off
my
the
question.
No, I
But
asked you a question. Do you
Oh,
think that he's ducking Plant? That's what I asked. I asked a
well,
question.
he's avoiding him for some reason. Do I think he's? I don't know why, but it's 100%. Plant said I signed everything. Plant signed his contract. Plant gave into 100% of
Okay, but
Canelo
Plant is the
demands.
one doing the negotiation. So why?
Well, no.
Okay, so
Understand
what are you
this.
talking
Wait,
about?
wait,
What are you
wait,
talking
wait.
about? What are you
Well,
talking
you're
about?
missing the point.
Have you heard from
You're missing
Canelo?
the point.
Have you heard from Canelo?
You,
Have you heard from Canelo?
yes,
Were you at the meeting? Were you
I
at
got.
the meeting, my
I
guy?
got.
Were you at the meeting?
Listen. I heard Eddie Hearn talk about it. I heard Eddie Hearn kick the can down the road. I heard Eddie Hearn avoid the question because I made a video about it. And so my point is this. Plant agreed to everything. The only question that they said is if he gets hurt, then he gets to supplement Plant for anybody else, whatever, and still get the same rates. But he's getting paid this premium because it's an undisputed fight. He's not getting this premium to fight some Yildirim or some or some Rocky Fielding type fighter. He's getting this premium for undisputed. It's as simple as that. It ain't had nothing to do with Plant. Plant signed off.
Yeah, he's gonna sign off because it's the biggest payday that he ever had. But
okay. Well, it's also Canelo's biggest payday. But it's also Canelo's biggest payday too.
That don't mean he was gonna win the fight. Canelo's not ducking him, and y'all don't even
I didn't give my opinion.
On Canelo's side, and I'm giving mine. My guy, you've been lashing out the whole. Let me see. It's been 57 minutes on this live. You've been lashing out for maybe like 45 minutes. Relax.
Oh, stop it! Oh, you Nayka, stop it! Stop it!
Nah, you've been running your mouth for a long time.
Because you're gonna say how you feel.
Can I get y'all the latest update that's happened since you've been on this show?
Yes, Lazy Lefty. Let us know.
Well, they said
wait.
that,
Let me say, Lazy Lefty has Chicken Talk on Twitter. He's the original one who started who's like pioneered the Chicken Talk Spaces, Twitter Spaces, because nobody really uses Twitter Spaces on Twitter. I'm just gonna be real. I don't ever see nobody else use Twitter Spaces. Lefty definitely utilizes it, and a lot of people been getting their information that they use as sources for their stories. So give the man his credit. All right. So here we go, Lazy Lefty. What you gotta say?
For the latest that what's my man name? Pugmire from the Athletic. He said talks are back on for Canelo versus Plant in early November, late October. And so that's the only person that they're looking to fight right now is Plant. So they're not looking to fight Bevo or whatever.
Okay.
It's just Plant and Plant.
So now what, people?
But my only issue with that is you got Wilder versus Fury in October, and then in November you got what's looking like Crawford versus Porter. So you already got two pay-per-views for that month. And then if you go into December, you're gonna run into the same problem they ran in with Wilder versus Fury last year and Plant versus Canelo last year, because Fox is not trying to do no pay-per-views in December because of football. So it would have to be pushed all the way back to late January, early February.
I don't know if it would be that far out.
I made a post about that earlier, Lefty.
I don't know if it would be that far out.
I mean, they're not gonna do two pay-per-views in the same month. You know, you're not gonna have Wilder Fury in October. You're not gonna have two, and then you're not gonna have another two in November, because November is Porter and and Crawford, hopefully.
Hopefully. I mean, but it's
I
Canelo.
mean, that's looking good. That fight looking good. Look like it's gonna be made. So it's
Now,
like
now, Lefty,
Canelo.
let me ask you, why would he not fight him in September? Why would he push the Plant fight back to November? Answer that question. It goes back to
Maybe he
him
thought
trying
he
to
had.
cycle out.
Man, I'm not about
Like,
to get into all that, but it goes back. It goes back.
it's with this. You gotta get off the cycle
I
thing.
talked about this with damn near an hour yesterday. But it goes back. Maybe he was trying to get better leverage on another deal. That's what I think it was, and it didn't turn out his way. So now he felt like he always could go back to that deal. That's why I ain't got shit to do with cycling. You got to realize this man has fought in December. He has fought in February. He has fought in May. So he's been tested for. We could say he's been tested a good December, January, February, March, April, May. A good 6 months out of the year.
Hey, brother, can I say something to you?
Right? Am I
definitely-
right? Am I correct?
No, you're not correct.
I didn't see.
No, you're not correct.
He enrolled Nevada in all those fights, right?
I didn't see
Canelo
any
Smith fight in
WBC
December.
postings about.
Then he did a quick turnaround with Yildirim in February, and then as soon as that fight was announced, he announced his fight with Billy Joe Saunders. So we
But
can
I
say
never
that he's
saw
been
any
tested.
testing for
Well, you
Billy
don't have to
Joe
see it because I
Canelo.
seen it. I seen it, my man. I know for a fact he did it. I seen it.
I would love to. I was looking for it. I've been
Okay,
looking
well,
for
you
it.
just got
I
to
want
trust
to
me on
see
this
it.
one because I'm not gonna lie about the shit.
Can you paste it to me if you can direct it to me?
Yeah,
I've been
I will
looking
send it
for
to
it.
you on Twitter when I get a chance.
Well,
But this is what I'm saying.
appreciate it.
This is what I'm saying though. Y'all want to get into these talks that y'all don't have no information about.
Thank you. And
That's the
one
problem.
thing
Y'all
that
don't know
he's
what the
gonna
fuck y'all
do,
talking
he's
about.
gonna
Y'all want to
sit
talk
back.
about things
He's
that's
gonna have
far
cheat.
above
hold
your
up,
pay grade.
hold up
You
a
want to talk
second.
about things that's far above your pay grade.
Hold
Like
on.
somebody on here calling clenbuterol a steroid, which it isn't. Get your facts straight because ain't nobody gonna take you serious. At least I'm not, because I'm a very factual person.
Yeah, and
I don't
one thing
get.
he's
Nayka,
gonna do.
I don't go
he's
talking
gonna
Nayka,
about shit I don't
please.
know nothing about. I
provide-
stick to my lane.
Nayka, please let me address this guy. Please let me
You
address
can
this,
address me all you
brother.
want, but you ain't got nothing
Let
to
me
say to
say
me because
this.
you already been proven wrong.
let
I
me
can hear you
say
talking
this.
though you don't know what you're talking about.
All right,
I don't debate. I teach.
Okay, I'm gonna say okay.
So
Great,
you don't
great,
have
Mister.
anything to say
I
to me
don't
on this
even know your
subject because you're
name,
not
but
on my
great,
level on
Mister.
it.
But let me say this:
Get your
you don't
facts
know
straight
what type
first.
of level anybody was.
I listened
Everything
to
that
your
I
whole
said
conversation.
to
You didn't
Nayka,
even have a basis. If you don't have a basis
e-
facts, I know you can't go in depth on the subject
everything,
because you haven't even bothered with the basics.
All right, so go ahead, lazy lefty, say what you gotta say, and then I'm gonna let
Oh no, I was done
checkmate.
saying what I had to say. I was
All right,
done.
so
I just wanted to get
checkmate.
at
All right, so checkmate. Go ahead and respond to what
Oh,
what
no, that
lazy
was.
lefty had to say.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
okay, you said I was. I don't know if you were referring to me. You said I was talking above my pay grade about the VADA testing. Lefty,
Lazy lefty.
is
Did
it,
you say
I
was
said yes, and you said, well, I haven't seen it. Okay, well then I
okay?
have seen it. And I know for a
So
fact
I
it's good.
said. Okay, so I said that I've been looking for him for months. I even messaged WBC. I was like, can I get some information on Billy Joe and Canelo's testing? No one has ever produced anything. So that's not talking about my pay grade because above
They
my pay
have
grade because I'm
produced
asking
it.
about their
I can show
testing.
you. If you don't even have to, you could just go to their Twitter feed and search it. It's right there.
I've been searching. So if I don't find it, then someone else finds it and send it to me. That's great. That's how we share information on Twitter. But that has nothing to do about talk about my pay grade. What I was saying is that again, Julius mentioned something about he was stalling. The same thing that Plant said that he thinks Canelo was stalling because of testing. Okay, so all of a sudden now the fight is in September. If he's going to fight Plant in November, why won't he just fight him in September? It doesn't make any sense. No one can articulate why Canelo said, okay, I'm not going to fight you in September, I'm going to fight you in November. He can come up with any excuse. He can say, well, you know what? I just want to do it for this reason. He hasn't come up with an excuse. It makes no sense.
Okay.
And that goes back to Nayka question about, do anybody think he's ducking? I don't know what he's doing, but he's stalling.
No, he's not. He's not ducking. Like I said, maybe he thought you're saying maybe you're making an allegation against him against cheating. I'm making an allegation. Maybe he thought he could have got a better deal.
Better deal? Nah, I don't think it's a better deal.
Maybe he thought he could have got a better deal at the zone.
But he got
the deal he wanted, and he came back.
Well, I
Nayka,
totally
can I,
believe that.
Yeah,
okay.
I totally believe Eddie don't want him to fight on PBC. Period.
Absolutely. There we go. And
Okay.
listen,
Now that makes a lot more sense than he's
but
cycling off
but
some
but
something that we
hold up.
can't
Well,
Let
I'm
prove.
me,
always going to think Canelo's cycling off something. That's just me.
Okay.
hey,
All right.
and
All
hold
right,
on.
so
They're
Can
then
I
most
I'm
can I
glad
address
most
I'm
of these
glad
something?
that you
fighters are
admitted
cycling
that.
off stuff.
I'm glad
So,
that you admitted that. You think that he's a cheat and that's it. So then
but
whatever
hold
he's
up.
gonna
Nayka,
say is
But have
gonna.
I? But you never listen, Nika. Have you ever heard me say that? My whole thing about Canelo
Are you
is I
saying
think
now?
most of these fighters are, are cycling off stuff.
You
That
just
has nothing to
said it.
do with my thing. I think he's a good fighter. I think he's a good fighter. But I think
hey,
the one of my reasons for him stalling Plant was because he catching all these fighters on short notice, so he won't have to be tested for 14 weeks, for 13 weeks, for 12 weeks. Then we get into the 6 weeks. All of a sudden, I done got my use out of what I was using, whatever it was. Like Billy Joe had the nasal spray. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a nasal spray, whether it's clenbuterol or something else. That's considered a performance enhancing drug. I never once said steroids. I said performance enhancing drug, and I even post plenty of videos with Eddie Hearn saying that Canelo should be jailed for cheating, and yet he's
hey,
promoting.
and can I get this in on Nayka to address Lefty? The thing that the same thing that Checkmate just said. Me and Nayka had a conversation an hour ago. 5 minutes into the conversation, the exact same thing was said. So you was talking about, well, none of y'all are on this level of information. Bro, all we doing is talking about boxing
Let me
and
ask.
giving
Okay, but y'all
opinions.
you
But
can't
hold on,
come
let
and
me
make
finish. I let you
allegations.
talk, right? I let you
You're
talk,
not
right?
talking boxing. You
I
talking
talk to you.
criminal
I let you
allegations.
talk,
Like,
bro.
okay.
Hey, I let you
Yeah, and you've
talk,
been
bro.
talking for
Let-
40 minutes of this 1
so,
hour
oh,
show.
but you already in your conversation. I'm addressing you back. You ain't gonna let me finish?
Wait, okay. This is I'm gonna take a pause. What is everybody drinking tonight in the
Look,
panel, or what he's smoking?
I
I'm
don't
about to
drink
drink.
or smoke.
You know what? I'm about to drink me some coffee, some caffeine, which is also let me explain this to you.
Performance enhancing
Caffeine is also a performance enhancing drug. Did you know that? Did y'all know that? Huh?
I knew that.
Okay,
Lefty,
y'all
you
know
being a
caffeine.
smart
Okay.
ass right now.
Okay, no,
You being
no,
a
no,
smart
because
ass
no, I'm
right
not being
now.
a smart ass. Caffeine is a
You being a
performance
smart
enhancing
ass right
drug.
now.
Lefty is like
When
me.
there's a certain level of caffeine in your body, it's considered performance enhancing. If I drank
Okay.
a cup of coffee and I got
You know
tested
what?
and they found trace
Lefty
amounts of
is going
caffeine
through.
in my body, would that be considered a performance enhancing? No, that'd be
Okay.
considered natural.
Clenbuterol is a performance
Oh,
enhancer,
okay,
sir.
okay, no,
It has
no, and they found
properties.
trace amounts of clenbuterol, which was considered food contamination, which
That's
the
why he
amount was
was
Okay.
considered.
suspended for
The,
6 months, sir.
okay, and
Okay.
if he were listen,
He was banned.
if he were to get tested today with those same levels, would he be suspended or would he be banned?
Check.
Well,
Can I get in here,
No,
checkmate, and finish
with
my
these
point?
same levels,
Okay.
would he be suspended today or would he be banned? No,
Okay.
he would not, because
All
his
right.
levels were consistent with
Was a
food
Mexican
contamination,
Socrates
not
tested
Not
and
performance
Nayka.
enhancing. Your body has
Nayka.
testosterone in it. It produces this
Nayka.
naturally.
I'm gonna
A
say
certain
Nayka.
Lefty,
level
Can
of
I?
why are you
testosterone is performance
apologizing for
enhancing, and certain
Canelo
level is
cheating? I
naturally
don't
Guys,
get
I
produced.
it.
can't hear you. I can't hear y'all. I can't hear y'all. All right, check me. What you want to say?
Lefty, why are you like apologizing for the Canelo cheating? Eddie Hearn made several videos saying Canelo should be jailed. Eddie Hearn made several videos talk about they knew when they saw him or his body, his new physique, that he's a cheater and he should be banned. Eddie Hearn has made these, and yet Eddie Hearn is promoting him today. Eddie Hearn has not walked back those comments that he thinks Canelo's has always been cheating and that the boxing industry thinks he's been cheating. But for some reason, Lefty, you want to apologize for it. For what? He got caught. That's it. I didn't make this about him cheating. What I said was he's avoiding the fight for
I'm gonna let
September.
Lefty
And
respond.
How the fuck? Who is this in the comments saying I'm a Nello hater for sure?
Let me see. Let me pick
Ringside
it up,
reporter.
Lefty.
Who the fuck? Nigga, ask B-Dale. He feel I don't hate. He feel I don't hate on Canelo enough. I'm not strict enough on him, which sometimes I'm not. But when Canelo do some fuck shit, I will say it. And this steroid shit is so. This steroid is clenbuterol is not a steroid. Number one. Number two, it was trace amounts, which is consistent with food contamination. Number three, if he was to be tested today with the same levels that he had before WADA changed the rules, he would not be failed. Number 4, you can test half. I think the report was half the population of Mexico has those same levels of clenbuterol in their system that can be tested. And they would fail right now. It's a level that's not even performance enhancing. There's no benefits. The benefit is to the meat. It's to the poor. And you notice they use it in poor. They use it in poor countries, which don't have the same standards as like first world countries do. So yeah, this shit is so blown out of proportion by so many people that don't really understand. It's not even just about performance enhancing. It's also about regulations. Third world countries, poor countries versus rich countries. Who can afford to feed their populations the better way, and who has to take shortcuts to feed their population? Which Mexico has to take shortcuts to feed their population.
Nayka, can I now get in with my comment?
Rich versus poor. It's about the strong versus the weak.
All right. So who?
Okay.
You,
Yeah.
Julius? All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was gonna respond with what I was saying. I'm saying everything that I'm gonna say, I'm gonna back it with a stat. I'm saying that Canelo, because I'm the person that has said something first about the cycling. And I even said I gave different people that done it that we like or love. I love the skill level of Canelo. But if you are a fan of any sport, you have to be honest and say, you know what? Because he or she tested positive, it's up in the air. Like, for example, let's look at something like track, because Nayka said we could talk about any sport, right, Nayka? So let's look at track. We got the Jamaican women's track and field, right? For example, you have 34 and 35-year-old women that wasn't even winning in their prime, in their mid-20s, now at the late age of 35, are not only winning Olympic gold medals, but are also setting world records. There are some things that your human body can't possibly do. You can get smarter, but you ain't physically getting better in your late 30s. You know what I'm saying? That's not happening. Yes, Canelo will be able to beat BJ Saunders, Rocky Feldman, Caleb Smith, and even Caleb Plant in his late 30s. But bro, all I'm saying is that don't go into this situation with the wool over your eyes, because when Margarito beat up Cotto said that Margarito hands were like an iron cast and that he was cheating. I remember boxing media and regular, fans beat Miguel Cotto up. They said that Makoto was a quitter because he took a knee in the fight and quit, and that he was just complaining and that he was off his rocker. But the Boricua was right, because 2 fights later, they found Margarito trying to load his gloves up against Shane Mosley. So it's a proven fact in boxing, man, that anything can happen. So I'm not saying that Canelo 100% is definitely cycling off fights. I'm saying that all these short notice fights, bro, it ain't Julius just saying that. These are people that are trainers who you would respect their game, like Breadman or Stephen Edwards or whomever. It's a lot of different guys that said it. Emmanuel Stewart years ago said that a lot of these fighters we love are nothing but steroids. Look at Shannon Briggs. He didn't fight, for a long time because he was using the asthma pump to try to say that he had asthma, when all in all, he had different steroids. Andre Berto, got to bring him up. Former world champion, a good guy, but got caught up with steroids. He got caught with the same level of steroids that Jarrell Big Baby Miller did. But we pick on Big Baby because he got busted a few times, right? And also, Nayka, we got to address this. Eddie Hearn 100% said that Canelo needs to be jailed for cheating, and that they knew he was a cheater, and he has not apologized or tried to redirect his comments. We have to ask ourselves why. It ain't us just saying that the guy is cheating. These are what the people are saying. And now, years later, if we find out he was, we're not going to have the same energy that we got when we try to say that he didn't do it. I guarantee that. That's all I'm saying.
Um, so I feel like you definitely called him a cheat, and he's been cycling off all types of stuff. Is what you said earlier.
I
And
didn't
you
say
said
all type of stuff. I
no,
said
all type of stuff. You
he
said
using this
Julius,
clenbuterol.
if you think Julius, you say it's a possibility he's cycling off, right?
You
Yeah,
said it.
I did say
You
that.
said that. You said that.
So
You said that.
what's the half life for clenbuterol that would make it safe for him to go ahead and sign for drug testing?
I don't know. You know the levels? You know the safe
No,
level? Tell
what's
me.
the half life?
So
What's
No,
the
I'm
half
just
life of
saying.
clenbuterol?
What's the half-life? You tell me.
Saying that he's
The half life of
so you
clenbuterol
have
is
those
about 3
numbers,
days.
my guy.
So
3 days?
that
Okay.
means it could be out of his system in 3 days. So your theory is
Okay.
not really making much sense.
Oh, well, wait, guys use cocaine too, right? What is it on
Yeah.
cocaine?
No, I'm saying
No,
you're
I'm just saying.
he needs to cycle off like you saying he needs weeks and weeks and weeks. He doesn't.
No.
All he would need is 3 days.
Okay,
If
well,
this is what
then why did he get? Hold up a second.
it's a
But he
3 day
got
half
caught.
life.
But he got caught doing one
all
of the
he would need was
half-life,
3 days.
right?
This is what I'm saying. All he would need
But
is 3
didn't he?
days. You
All right, but
talking about like, well, he need weeks and he need months. No, if he's doing what you think he's doing, all he would need is 3 days.
Okay, but answer this question. He got caught within one of those 3 day cycles, right?
Yeah.
So
And
why? Hold up a second.
which he produced
Let
to
me ask you
receive.
a question. Why has he not addressed Eddie Hearn's comment? And why has Eddie Hearn not apologized for his comments or said that someone took him out of context? Why? I'm just asking that question.
How do you know what conversations they've had together?
I'm gonna mute you for a second. Hey man, what do you want to say about what's going on here? Because you've been really quiet. What do you have to say about this Canelo implanting, or like this Canelo and the drug testing? And unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Hitman.
All right.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Did Canelo get popped for drugs in his last couple fights?
No.
Has Canelo been popped for a PED since the second Triple G fight?
No.
All right. That's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Innocent till proven guilty. He ain't been popped for drugs just since the Triple G fight. I'm not. No. I've been listening to this conversation for about a goddamn hour. But we can talk about something else.
I know, because I want to switch. I
it.
really want to switch things because we've been online for an hour and 17 minutes, and it's been all Canelo and fucking steroids.
I haven't even gotten a chance to get my goddamn fucking point across about the other thing I was trying to talk about.
All right, so we're gonna do that. Go ahead, because I'm tired of talking about Canelo and this cheating thing. I'm just being honest. I am through with it. It's been an hour and 17 minutes, and you know what? That's why Canelo is the face of boxing. This has been an hour and 17 minutes talking about Canelo, yo. Fucking
I'm drinking my
Canelo for an
PED.
hour and 17 minutes.
I'm taking my PED caffeine right now too.
Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna cycle off when I go to the bathroom.
Switch up the subject, Hitman. What do you want to talk about now? Because I'm done. I'm done with the fucking Canelo and the steroid thing. That's it.
Let's talk about Spence versus Pacquiao. And let's get everybody's thoughts on that fight. I'm sick of talking about Canelo and eating a contaminated steak from 2017.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about that, bro. Let's talk about Spence versus Pacquiao. We got a couple weeks till the biggest fight in the summer. What are you guys' thoughts on that fight?
Yes.
And and another thing, to that DF dude in the comments, get my nuts right out your throat. Dude got my nuts in his throat.
I don't know if that was him that came in here and put his dick on the screen, because hey, before everybody came on the live just now on the chat, I had 3 people that I added to the stream, trying to be the nice Nayka that I'm trying to be. You know, I'm trying to change. 3 motherfuckers came on here when I added them, and they fucking put a dick picture on the screen like this was the dick derby, and I was like, wow. Somebody even
I'll be back now.
Somebody used Ray's picture as their profile picture, so I added them, and I said, wow, okay, this is Ray. I know him. Let me add him, and they posted a dick picture.
You got some sick
Crazy.
freaks on you.
This is not
Thing.
fans. This is YouTube. If you want to show your dick off, create a YouTube.
I personally got Spence winning the fight, man.
What do they do everywhere?
Hitman.
They show the dick everywhere? Not over here. I'm not gonna be putting dick pictures over here. We're talking about sports.
Hitman.
I don't want to see.
I'm a roll with
I don't want to see y'all dicks on here. It ain't that serious. If y'all want to show dick, go to OnlyFans. All right. There's a bunch of bitches on OnlyFans that want to see your dick on there. Do that. Make money for it. Don't come over here showing your dick because I don't want to see it. I really don't want to see it because I know it's not even your dick.
Got that right.
You got other motherfuckers' dick pictures saved in your phone, and that's crazy to me. Fucking crazy. You wait till you come on my page to show dick pictures. Like really? Wow.
No doubt. Hey, look,
right, so
Hitman, Nayka. I got Spence.
You got Spence?
I got Spence.
How do you see the fight going?
Because I'm gonna go a little bit off of what I saw in that Keith Thurman fight. Like Manny was fighting in flurries. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to try to save his energy. So he would fight in flurries, and Keith Thurman wasn't jabbing at all. And one thing that Spence does is jab. Now Spence might get hit with a couple shots, but he does have a good tight defense. I really think Spence beats him up. I'm not for sure about stopping him because Manny's tough, but it all depends if Manny would have to run into something like Sean Porter did or like he did against Marquez. But I got Spence winning unanimous decision.
All right.
How you see it? How you see it?
Me personally, I think we're gonna get 4 or 5 last great rounds of Manny. I think the rounds Manny are gonna win are gonna be like spectacular rounds, but I think realization is going to start to kick in. He's going to see that Spence is too big, he's too strong, too fast. And on top of that, one thing I noticed, like you brought up the Keith Thurman fight, Keith had Manny not in like, bad trouble, but Keith was able to land on Manny at times. Keith didn't have the confidence, keep putting the pressure on. One thing about Spence is a consistent fighter. From rounds 1 through 12, Spence puts the pressure on. He has that strength. He has that dog in him. I think that Spence is going to start to pick Manny apart around like maybe the 7th to 8th round. And I think Spence's size, his strength is going to all be too much for Manny. I think Spence is going to I don't think Spence is going to knock him out, but I think Spence is going to get like a stoppage around like the 10th, 11th. The doctor might have to stop it, or Manny's trainer might just go in the
and you know something, Hitman, if that happens, you know what, I'm gonna give Manny Pacquiao, no matter how the fight ends, I'm gonna give him all the credit for taking this fight. Man, this is a fight, seriously, man, he could get hurt in this fight. When you start getting, because I'm in my 40s now, so I couldn't imagine in my early 40s. I know. I can't imagine right now jumping in the ring with a guy.
I can't imagine nobody knocking me out either.
Yeah, because you got to think the punches hurt a little bit more when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Like falling into the door.
I ain't see it.
Hey, look, no. I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about like falling into the wall. You might get a bruise. Now, all night long, you're gonna have a jab in your face. I know you knocking him out, Nayka. I'm talking about, but yeah, man, I agree with you, Hitman. That's gonna be a difficult fight for Pac-Man. That's gonna be like, he would have been better off taking on somebody like Bud, because Bud would have fought him and been right in his face the whole time, and it would have been a slugfest. You know what I'm saying? But like Spence gonna, because Bud would get knocked out trying to knock you out, but Spence ain't gonna do that. He gonna box him and, like you say, pick him apart. And if he get knocked out, I mean, you know what? This is how it should be for a 42-year-old man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And for the dude that said Spence couldn't stop Mikey, there's a huge difference fighting somebody who's willing to open up and fighting somebody who's not willing to open up. Mikey was not willing to open up. Mikey was not going to let himself get knocked out. He's fighting to survive. There's two different styles between them. I hate when
And
people say that stupid shit.
and what people don't realize is number one, the fight after that fight, Mikey did not look good, and also people forget that his dad and his nephew was in the corner trying to stop that fight. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting that fight because you're not gonna stop a fight for a guy if he's not getting hit with nothing, no strong punches. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
they was
It's like,
trying to stop that fight.
and then
He
somebody said
got beat
Spence's
up.
jab is overrated. Spence don't got a jab like a Charlo or a Triple G, but Spence got a
Right.
consistent jab. Spence sets you up with the jab. He sets everything up behind the jab. He
Yep.
goes to the body with the jab. He goes to the head with the jab. He'll angle off using the jab. It don't got to be no crazy jab for it to be a good jab. It's a consistent pumping jab that he uses. It works for him. It worked wonders for his whole career, and there's a reason why he's undefeated.
And let me say this, Nayka, I heard you talking one night. I can't remember, but you was talking about guys that go to the Olympics. And I gotta agree with you. Guys that go to the Olympics and excel are usually good in the pros. And I will say this: Charlo and those guys and Triple G, they got a heavy jab. But like you say, they got a jab almost like a right hand. But you see how inconsistent they are throwing that jab, right? You can't throw that type of jab all night long. But that jab, and like you say, the angles, man, Earl Spence could have fought at welterweight in any era of boxing and won a title. You get what I'm saying? That's how good he is.
Well, he wouldn't have beat no welterweight Sugar Ray Robinson because that a
He
welterweight
would
Sugar Ray Robinson.
look. Listen, I didn't say he would beat Sugar Ray Robinson.
No,
I said he could fight in either era. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just talking my shit.
Yeah. Sugar Ray was a bad man. Both of them, Leonard and Robinson. Right.
I wish there was more welterweight footage of Sugar Ray Robinson though, because my dad told me he was like unbeatable back then.
Look, man, the man was 100 and what? He won 175 fights or something like that. So
yep, and he had what? 100 plus knockouts.
Exactly.
Knock you out back and
yeah, going backwards with a left hook, right?
But I want to say something. I want to say something.
Yeah.
So what else? What other big fights are coming up? What other big fights are coming up?
Let's talk about Herring and Shakur.
Yeah,
Herring and Shakur. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
I got
Wasn't that
winning
crazy split?
Type fight.
Wasn't that a crazy split they went to? If it were to go to purse bid?
Hey, look.
Something about a 65-35 split.
Yeah. Hey man, you gotta blame. Listen,
63 to
63,
no, that's
37.
That is crazy.
For Shakur, the challenger.
He is the champ. How does Shakur, as a challenger, make more than the champion? That's fucking crazy.
I've never seen it done in boxing.
Anybody says otherwise, you're stuck.
It never happened in boxing. It's never happened.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's literally never happened.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And you gotta blame the promoter.
I think that's why they did that. But still, that's a crazy split.
Thankfully, it didn't go to purse bid, but the fact that if it would have went and that's how it would have went, that's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, but who has Shakur been knocking down? Like I feel like people are bamboozled by Shakur, to be honest. Like, he been knocking people out and doing all this stuff. He actually been ducking unification. The one unification that he dug, or in my opinion, is the Warrington fight. And then he had a chance to do the Navarrete fight, and he moved up and ducked that too. So
I'm gonna say this:
him, the guy to take the biggest split in a purse bid against the champion. That's crazy. That is fucking crazy. Let me say, needs to make some changes, because that's ridiculous. To judge it on the last three purses that the fighter has.
That's crazy.
Have a belt? Why even have a belt?
Hey, you gotta. I'm being honest. You gotta kind of blame the promoter, because Bob, a lot of times the promoters be dictating the particular fights. You know what I'm saying? Because Shakur was calling out Oscar Valdez since his about 6th or 7th fight, and he never got the Valdez fight, and he ended up getting a vacant title against Joet. But you know, and Aaron wanted that fight because Shakur was dating the guy's sister, and it was great drama. You see what I'm saying? So
And he ain't
sometimes,
knock,
in
and
my
he ain't
opinion,
even knock him out. He ain't even knock
well,
him out. They called him the
well, look,
N
let me,
word, and he was dating his sister and doing all. He didn't even knock his guy out.
hey,
He's
but
like
let me
one of
say
those
this,
guys
Nayka.
that like drags the fights all 12 rounds,
Hey,
and to try
you,
to get the higher split in a fucking purse bid is ridiculous.
hey,
And
hey,
his last performance was
Nayka.
like ridiculous. That's why the fight is not happening in New York, because his last performance. That's why the fight is not happening in
Hey,
New
and
York
let me,
where it should have been, because they're both from like New Jersey and New York. So
right, that fight should
it's
be in
crazy.
Brooklyn, not
Sorry.
Atlanta. Everybody
Absolutely.
isn't, and here's another thing too.
Not Atlanta.
These
Like, come
promoters,
on.
yeah, these promoters, man. I'm just being honest with y'all, man. If if Floyd Mayweather or Oscar De La Hoya fall in your lap, it's easy to promote those guys. You get what I'm saying? One is an urban star, one is a Mexican American star. So you can put their fights anywhere. But but I will say that Bob did a good job with Bud when he was fighting in Omaha. These guys should be fighting in Newark or Brooklyn, nowhere else. It should be in Newark, Brooklyn, or Madison Square Garden. That's it. Nobody's
Yeah,
gonna
I
come
don't
to
get
the
the
fight
Atlanta
in
thing.
Atlanta. Yeah,
It doesn't
I
make
don't.
any sense. And
Not New
also,
York. Not
it was
Newark.
Bob
In New
Arum
York.
who
It should
actually,
be New York and not Newark. Nobody's gonna go to New
Yeah.
York. It's not nobody.
well,
Newark ain't on the map like that. Newark ain't on no boxing map like that. New
Well, they
York
used to
is,
have
but
a
not
lot of fights.
Newark, New
What about the
Jersey.
Well,
Birmingham
Sorry.
Newark,
Mall though? Did
no,
they have it at
Newark
the
used to
Birmingham
have a lot
Mall?
of fights.
well,
Yeah,
as
No,
long as
the
nobody
it's in
Polish
the
wants
New
the
guy.
York,
Newark
New
Jersey boxing.
Jersey
No,
area, that's all that matters.
nobody is
That's
checking
that's
for
the only thing
Newark
that's
Jersey
logical.
boxing.
Right. It only happened like once. I mean, not once, but one fighter was very popular in Newark. It was the Polish guy. I can't remember his name,
You
but he
can't
was
even remember
bringing.
his
But you
name.
right.
But next,
Yeah,
next,
yeah. There you go.
next.
Hey, you right. But Shakur, in my opinion, I think Shakur will win against Heron. But it has nothing to do with
No.
Shakur. Got to find out who he is in the ring. You can. There are fighters that are we consider greats of all time that was not knockout punches. You have to just do what you do best and don't try to knock guys out. Look at Pernell Whitaker. We look at Pernell Whitaker as one of the greatest ever. He did not knock people
Shakur is
out.
not Pernell Whitaker. End of story.
Absolutely not.
Shakur is
But
not
he
Pernell
has to
Whitaker.
be
We
Shakur.
not gonna
I
do
think
that.
I
We
think
are
Shakur.
not gonna do that.
But
Well, I
let,
didn't
let me say
compare
this.
him now. I didn't compare him to
His last
Pernell.
fight,
I
he
said
fought
he
a
has to.
southpaw, and he was like, "Oh my god, the punches were
Yeah,
hard. I wasn't expecting
yeah.
that."
I
All
just
right.
Really, my
I
guy?
just
But
think
Like,
he'll win
really,
the fight. Like
really?
I don't consider him Pernell. I only said he
I don't
has
think
to
he wanted the
do
fight. I'm gonna be
like
honest. I
fighters.
don't think he wanted the fight. I think he
all
was
right.
banking on Herring vacating that belt and moving up.
Well,
That's just
they
my
were
opinion.
friends, right?
Listen,
I mean,
They were
he's
listen,
friends, right?
okay,
Julius.
but he
When
didn't
it
want that
comes,
fight. He wanted Herring to vacate that belt and move up so he could fight for the vacant belt.
okay.
He did it.
But listen, people
He turned down the Warrington fight, and then he dodged the Navarrete fight. So it's in his
people got to
repertoire.
realize these guys are very inexperienced. What we're looking at when we're looking at Shakur today, we're not going to. It's going to be a completely different fighter in 4 years. When we're looking at Devin Haney today and Teal today, we're going to a completely different fight. These guys are still very inexperienced. So we're and even again 15 fights, 16 fights. So when it comes to Shakur, he hasn't found himself yet because he's still growing. He still look like a little boy. He hasn't even grown into his mainstream yet. I think he's talented. I think he's got that defensive wizardry, but he's going to start to figure some things out. I'm not a hater on Shakur at all, but I did hate the fact what happened with the purse situation. But someone informed me that it was Jay Prince who actually stepped in and said, no, we're going to fix this situation. Why? Because it was Bob Arum who the one who actually put that in place to try to make it so impalatable. Like who does that? You're the promoter. This is not a WBO situation. But Bob Arum put WBO in the mix so he can try to say, hey, it's their fault and not mine. So whatever the case may be, it's obvious that he's trying to push Herring out of the way, and he's trying to go ahead and elevate Shakur. That's the only
For
way you
what?
can
What has
explain
Shakur
a
done? What has
champion
Shakur
getting
done? What
37%.
has
That
Shakur
is
done?
horrible.
What
Nothing,
has
Nayka.
Shakur done?
I agree with you.
Absolutely
None of them.
nothing. So I'm just like,
Nothing.
he's been
Nothing.
fighting people in the
Right.
fucking
It's
alleys and shit
unheard
like
of.
that. Like he hasn't
Listen.
been representing a fucking
Listen.
like top
Let me tell
notch
you how this
boxer.
came about.
He don't
Listen,
deserve that shit.
because I was smacking a guy. What's his name? What's his name? The one. It'll come to mind. He always shilling for Bob Arum, the old guy who got the black wife.
Rick
But
Oh,
Rick
Rick
anyway,
Glazer?
yeah,
Rick
Rick.
Glazer.
Rick Glazier. Yeah, I would. If I'm sure some of y'all caught that. I was battling with that dude for over an hour.
He
He's
got me
saying, "Well, I
blocked. I
think
don't
it's a
know what
very
he's
good
saying.
rule. I
Wait,
agree
hold
with
on.
the rule. It's in a
There's somebody
rule."
named Ron Boy Fresh who wants to be added to the conversation, but I need to know that
You
this
know,
is really you
Ron.
because people have been. I know, but it's not showing his picture or his stream, and I don't want nobody dropping more dick in here like that,
That's the
like they've been
DC
doing.
Slim.
I know, but that's
that's
not his
that's
picture.
DC Slim.
Watch. Let me do it. And if you
That's
show
the
your
Mr.
dick, it's
Mambo
gonna take
sauce.
you 1 second to get off this fucking
But
screen. All right?
uh, but
Ron Boy
listen,
Fresh,
let me
talk.
tell you how they came up.
Hey, stop
Listen,
Ron Boy
playing me,
Fresh,
Nayka. This is
talk.
Slim.
how they
Stop
came up
playing.
with that three. This
My
is the
boy
reason
Ron
why
Boy
Shakur
Fresh.
had been paid five.
I got it.
Listen, Shakur had been paid 500 grand his previous fight, and then the last fight, 1.5 million. They did that to skew the 3-fight balance. Why? Because the one fighting for an interim belt did not warrant a 1.5 million. But so the reason now say, oh, we're going to call this rule into play. Now we're going to go ahead and do this, and now we're going to equate it that way. That's why it was purposely done to try to, because they knew what they was going to do with Herring. It just makes sense. Bob Arum is a devil. He's the one who's caused all this racial division in boxing. He's like the worst thing that pretty much happened to boxing.
All right, hey, real quick. Let me just put this in here.
All right, I had to make sure it was you, Ron Boy, because I don't know if you
Hey,
saw
come
the
on,
stream when I
I'm
first
in the
started.
law, so
People,
uh,
I know people were
yeah.
dropping dick pictures in here when I added them to the
Oh, for
stream.
real? Oh, this
Yes.
shit crazy. This shit crazy. But real quick, man, look. Naka, I already told you. I was with Shakur when he told we were watching what fight? We was watching a King. What fight was we watching? It was me, Shakur. It was Stephen Fulton, Gilly, and all this. We was in the MGM. That he already told me he was going to end up fighting her. I even posted on Twitter probably over a year ago. So that was already in the making. The point that this is what's happening, and this is the play. They're trying to make Shakur a top 5 pound for pound fighter before the summer is over. So what's going to happen is he was getting that WBO with or without Hearn. It didn't matter. That was already in the play. He's going to vacate. He's going to unify with Valdez. That is going to put him as a top 5, and with the ESPN engine, that's going to make him a top 5 pound for pound fighter, whether you like it or not. As far as comparing him to Whitaker and Purnell and all that, technically, box rec wise, not box rec, CompuBox wise, Shakur is one of the best defensive fighters under the age of 25 that pretty much ever existed, whether you want to believe it or not. If you run the numbers, the level of competition is here and there, but we already know Shakur defense. He takes pride in his defense. He's not trying to get hit. Is it fan friendly? Nah, not for the casuals. To me, I love it. But it is what it is. So that's why I had to jump in there. As far as the WBO, that bylaw been in there for years. That's not the WBO or Bob Arum fault. That is Hearn and his management fault. They should have gave him more money leading up to these fights. It wouldn't have been like that.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ron.
There you go, Islam.
But
No, I
who
think that's
called for
crazy.
the
I think
purse bid?
that's crazy.
Huh?
That's a crazy rule because when you win a belt, that's what you win the belt
What,
for, to me, making the bigger person.
But Naka, you
Why would you
keep
have the belt like
okay. So you're
to
telling
okay,
me
be
that okay,
making less
Naka.
than
Let
the
me
challenger?
interject real quick. So you're telling me that you mean to tell me that okay? So Earl got 2 belts, Manny got 0. who's getting the bigger slice. I mean, I can go down the list. The belt don't
Say
mean
that
it's
again.
about. Earl has 2 belts.
Right. The
Manny
belt
has
don't make
0
the
belts.
fighter. It's the fighter that make the belt.
It's the fight, bro. Like, it's not Shakur's fault that he
Okay,
got
but
better management.
do you know why the fight's not happening in New York? It's because Shakur had a horrible performance last fight. So
I
why should
agree.
he
And the
make a
MSG,
bigger
and
dent
listen.
than
Okay,
Herring? That's
once
crazy.
again, I listen, but MSG said they didn't want Shakur back in it. That's fine. Then
Exactly.
Oh
take it to
damn.
Prudential.
MSG
Hold up,
said
but
that?
we're not
Exactly,
talking.
because
But
his
what does that
performance is
have to do?
boring.
What does
It's
his
boring.
performance have to do with his paycheck? At the end of the day, they ran the
If
numbers.
I feel,
Shakur
my
makes more
opinion,
money.
I feel like if you are the WBO champ, then you should be making the bigger cut against the challenger, which is Shakur. And that's just
So let me
crazy.
get this
Like,
right.
that's
So
why
when
you win a
Berto,
belt, so
okay,
you
so
can
when
make the
Berto
bigger
fought
purses in fights
Guerrero,
and defend it.
okay,
And he defended his belt like 3 times. So why should he be making less than Shakur in a fucking fight? That's crazy.
because Shakur have a better deal. That's the reason. They didn't pick and choose whoever make them. They brought
Ron.
who? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Ron, it doesn't.
yeah. What up?
Ron, you're looking at you guys are overlooking that it's Bob Arum who creates these artificially anointed pound for pounds or whatever. He creates this narrative and he got the media in his pocket. And listen, we already know that like Paulie Malignaggi said, they
I don't
said, hey,
agree
the
with that.
time for the
Go
Black American fighter is over and we want to anoint this, we want to anoint that, whatever the case may be. So anytime
brother.
that Bob
Look here.
Arum has an opportunity to anoint someone, that's what he does. So you can't
Okay,
explain
right.
how Shakur made $500,000 his last fight before, and then the last fight he just made 1.5 million. What that did was skew the 3-fight average. Why? Because Herring made 600,000 and then 500,000 and then 400,000. So if you just
Okay, her need to take
so
that up with MTK Global. Her
it's
need to take that up with MTK Global.
that's Bob Arum, brother. Don't give
How
that
is,
devil too
bro?
much
I'm not
credit,
even going
brother.
to argue
It's
with you because
Arum.
now you don't even know what you're talking. What does MTK?
I
What
know
does
everything I'm
MTK
talking
Global have to do with Bob Erm? So Jay,
because
who has the
Bob
better affiliate? Wait a minute,
MTA.
ho. So
But you asked me
who
a question.
manages Shakur? Who manages Shakur?
It doesn't
Who
matter who
manages
their
Shakur?
manager is. Do you
Oh
know?
my
Do you
God.
ever hear from their managers, or do you hear from
Jay
Bob
Prince
Arum?
has top ranked by the balls, and I'm just
It
gonna say
doesn't.
that.
Do you know? Do
Jay
you
Prince
know? It
has
Exactly.
doesn't matter
top
any
ranked
of
by
Exactly.
those
the balls,
managers.
So
and
who has the
None
better
of those
manager?
that's not
Who
business.
fighters
has
who
That's
the
were
better
in
manager?
top
bullying.
pound for
Like that's
pound,
like a
and
Suge
it
Knight
doesn't
type thing.
matter.
That
It's
One
ain't
at a
all
business.
time,
Bob
everybody.
That's
Arum and the
One
him
at a
being a bully
time.
WBO
in the business.
connection. It's all Bob Arum and what he wants to do. You guys act like he's not the wizard that's pulling the strings behind this, and these fake fairy
Bob Erm
tale
didn't
pound for
create that
pound.
power. Bob Erm didn't
It
create that
doesn't matter
power.
whether he created, but guess what? He pays them. He's the one. Listen, Bob Arum was famous for saying, "Oh, we don't have the money for do this, we don't have the money to do that." But how did he just pull 1.5 million for Secure out of his pocket for
Because
that last
Shakur
fight he
got good
just had?
management. Because Shakur got
It
good
had
management.
nothing to do
He
with
don't
his
have good
management,
management.
sir.
He has a
Yes, he
bully.
You're
do.
He
not
has
giving
a
the
Jay
devil
Prince
he has
know.
Bob Arum
Jay
too
he don't
much
Prince
have
know what
credit.
he doing.
Jay Prince
Whatever,
don't
You're
call it
not
do
whatever you
giving
want to
business.
Bob.
call it.
Jay
Ooh,
Prince don't do
like
good
I
business.
said,
He
What
just
about all these other fighters?
he has people
Jay
in his
Prince
oh
had.
business.
Lord,
That's not good business. That's like a mob type
Shakur
thing that
is
he's
the
doing.
face of Jay Prince boxing right now. Shakur is the face of Rap a lot boxing.
My
Yo,
guy,
you're
So
giving Jay Prince too
do
much
you
credit.
remember when
Listen,
Jay Prince
listen.
had do you remember when Jay Prince had
Let me just.
Shakur sitting next to him with holding the umbrella of a rapper that he I guess some rappers have who was the rapper that they
Young
stole the
boy.
shit from his car? Young boy. They had his fucking umbrella, and then Shakur was sitting there looking like the stupid sick puppy saying, if you want your umbrella back, hit us up. He's not even a gangster like that. That's Jay Prince being a bully in the business. Do you think that's
management,
real
like I
business?
said, he just bully, and you
That
just
ain't
proved my
that
point.
ain't
He bully.
Shakur
He
ain't
bully.
even about that life. Because
Jay Prince don't give people
Look,
rankings.
NBA when
look.
NBA what's his name?
Young boy.
I don't even know the rapper's name. Young boy peoples threatened Shakur's life on social media. He backed out. He didn't say nothing else, and it was over for that. So if you're a good manager, why are you putting your fighters in positions like that where they have to defend their life because
Look,
you
as
made him
far as
get in a
as far
video?
All right.
to
Well,
return
Naka,
an
let me put it
umbrella from
like
a
this.
stolen
Let me
car.
put it
That's
like this, Naka.
crazy.
All
That's
right.
fucking
Let me put it
crazy.
like
That's
this.
crazy.
But
I
Acting
Ron,
got
you
like
you.
a
didn't let me
business, that's
finish
his
I
my
got you.
business.
statement.
Let me put it
He's a
like this,
bully in the
Naka.
business, but
I've
that
been
ain't gonna
around this.
last. That ain't gonna last,
All
and
right,
that's not good
look.
for his fighters. Because right now, Shakur don't even have a team. He don't have his coach K. He don't have a nutritionist. He don't have none of that. If you want to be real,
Okay, listen. This purse bid, the fight they just start talking about. They just to say, okay, we're gonna make this fight. It wasn't even 2 weeks and they talk about a purse bid. They didn't even. It wasn't even 2 weeks to say, okay, we're gonna fight. It was a week and a half, and WBA gonna talk about, okay, we're coming out with a purse bid. There's gonna be a purse bid. Are you kidding me? That was all Bob Arum. I don't understand why you haven't even researched and understand the string that he pulled, Ron. You keep talking about Jay Prince. He hasn't gotten any other fighter
We
these type of accolades in boxing, but you calling it to him?
exactly at all.
It's not
and
him.
once
It's
again,
Bob
I
Arum. Bob
told
Arum
you
is
that
the devil
oh,
of boxing.
bro, you can
He's the
say
man that's pulling
I
these
don't.
strings.
That's fine. I'm not arguing that back and forth with you. I'm talking about the deal that Jay Prince negotiated for Shakur. I
But that had
don't
nothing to do
care
with the
about
purse
who
bid.
gave.
Let the man
That had
finish.
nothing to
God
do with being
damn.
called in the purse bid after a week of them talking about we're gonna make this fight, and all of a sudden WBA comes out with a purse bid. No, it was Jay Prince who fixed the situation. So if it was all about the deal negotiate, Jay Prince wouldn't the one who went into her and said, "Oh, we're gonna solve this situation right away." It wasn't Bob Arum. Bob Arum
So
stayed
you're
quiet the
upset.
whole
So
time.
basically, this is where we at right now. You're upset that Shakur got a better deal than Jamel Hearn. That's what you upset
Well,
about.
I like Shakur. Shakur. I'm upset that Bob Arum controls the system to say
Okay.
the champion is going to get 37%, and the challenger who's never been in a major fight, who's never done anything
So
significant, who's still I'm not done yet, sir.
uh
Who's still
but
insignificant, we're going to give him 67%.
Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't make
crazy.
any
so
sense, sir.
That's
okay,
That
fucking
so
doesn't make
Bob
any
crazy.
Arum
sense.
created that WBO bylaw that was been on
Bob
the books
Arum
for like 10 years.
Bob Arum got his fits like a puppet, like his up the
Okay, cool.
WBO's
All right,
ass like
we
they a
established that.
puppet.
Okay, we established that. So Bob Arum runs the WBO and
That's
Jay
correct.
Prince. Okay, cool. And we can agree that Jay Prince negotiated a better deal for Shakur than what Jamel and MKK
You
Global
know
have
that you
with
know that
You
Jay
keep
Prince
being. Why
is
are
a
you
bully.
stuck on Jay
He's
Prince? I
just
don't understand. I don't
he's
get
just
it.
because
he
Jay
don't have
Prince
no
is
good
the
he got them by
manager
the
who
balls.
negotiates the deal.
He got him by the balls in there.
Just
He's
like
like a sugar
You
Bomac
you,
baby.
you
is the
keep
one
talking
who
about Jay
negotiates
Prince.
Guys,
the
you
deal.
gotta
We're
let
not.
him get his point across. So
Bro,
y'all gotta let him finish
like
talking and get his point across.
you
Y'all keep interrupting him.
you
Let him go.
sounding
Let him
too
go.
emotional over Bob Erm. I'm trying to sit here and tell you facts, and you talking about speculation about Bob Erm. Are we
I'm
here
not
to
talking
talk
about
about
speculation. I'm
speculation or
talking about
facts?
facts, sir.
That's not a fact. You didn't give
It
one
is a
fact. You gave
fact. It is
opinions.
a
You
fact that
gave
Bob
opinions.
Arum controls the WBO. It is a fact that Bob Arum office was raided by the FBI. It is a
So
fact
now the
that Bob
FBI is
Arum
in
has
this
been
now.
fined,
We went from Shakur
for
to the
being in
FBI.
cahoots.
Bro, you trying too hard to prove a point. At the end of the day, let's just keep it to what it is, what it is.
Bob Arum,
They
that's what it
ran the
is.
numbers.
You don't.
Okay, whatever. Bob Erm. Okay, cool. It's Bob Erm. Bob Erm pays Shakur money. Bob Erm pays Shakur more money than he pays Jamel Hearn. Period. Right?
Just his last
Right?
fight, not the previous fights. Just the last fight he had. He went from 500,000 to 1.5 million. Jamel Herring made over 700,000 in his last fight. Okay. So the point is, they use one fight for we go from
They
50,000 to
use three fights.
150,000.
They use three
Okay,
fights. They don't use
no.
one fight.
What
They use three
I'm
fights
saying, the
average.
last fight are you listening to what I'm saying?
And I'm telling you, they
Shakira
use
has
three
his only
fights,
his
not the last
listen.
fight.
My thing is, are you going to let me get the point out so you can counter, sir? My point is this. Okay, Bob Arum knew that they were going to do this. They knew they was going to fast track Shakur, right? So he said, "Okay, we're going to take his
Absolutely.
pay from 500,000 to 1.5 million for a meaningless fight." Okay, and the reason, and then when we
Meaningless.
get this
Ugh.
meaningless fight. So then
Hmm.
when we get this, we're gonna go ahead and force this WBO mandate, and then we're gonna say, okay, hey, Bob Arum didn't make one comment about it. first time he's ever been silent in
And
his life because
and
he knew what he
checkmate.
was doing. But
And
Jay Prince is the one who went in and fixed it. So if Jay Prince gave this man 50% or whatever he gave him to fix the situation, then you keep saying, oh, you can't blame Jay Prince, but Jay Prince is the one who solved the situation. Bob Arum didn't say it. Bob Arum could have gave him more money, did, because Bob Arum is the promoter. Jay Prince don't dictate the salaries. Bob Arum
Jay
makes the
Prince.
office. That is the
Okay.
reason why Teofimo did what he did. It wasn't based on his management. It was based on Bob Arum, brother. I don't know why you putting Jay
Okay.
Prince
Let me
like
know
he's
when
the
you.
wizard. I'm done. I'm
All right,
done.
you through? Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
you do know the manager negotiates the contracts, right?
I'm muted
Yes or
until you
no?
get your point across.
No, I need to. I'm going back and forth. You don't have to. I need yes or
Because
no
I
question.
want people to hear y'all
Yes.
because y'all be talking over each other.
I'm not really talking. I mean, I'm just trying to make A and B. Trying to get a yes or no
All right, so
situation.
checkmate.
He
He wants to know if
checkmate.
say that again.
Do the manager create the contract for the boxer or negotiate the contracts for the boxer?
It is
Checkmate.
the promoter who ultimately decides what they're going to give a fighter.
Okay,
Period.
and we agree. And so
Period.
therefore, right. And so we saying the same thing. Jay Prince negotiated a price. Bob Arum agreed to it, paid Shakur. Now he makes more money than Jamel Hearn. And Jay Prince did a better job than MTK Global in negotiating a deal for their fighter. Correct?
No.
But we don't know the parameters of this particular deal. Only thing we know is that his last fight he made 1.5 million. Why did he make 1.5 million? Why? Because if I'm going to go ahead and create the scenario that we're living out today, I need to skew his pay so then we can go to this 3-fight
And
rule.
and and
I've
and, and
never heard it
I
in full.
go
I'm not done yet.
and
I
I
listened to
was getting
you.
ready.
I'm
I
not
was actually
done.
about to agree
I'm
with you, but okay, go ahead, bro. Go
Okay,
ahead.
you can agree, but let me get the point out. My point is this: we've never ever heard of this ever happening in boxing. I like Shakur, but what happened? It wasn't about
I
Shakur.
don't.
It was about the
I don't.
dirty. I know you don't. I
Um,
know you. Trust me,
yeah,
Nayka. I know you don't.
He's
But my
let me
point
finish.
is, we've never
Let me
seen this.
finish.
The entire boxing community was in an uproar because this was so unfair. Period.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
you through?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, the bylaws been on the books. Deal with it.
Oh,
Now,
he
at the
talking
end of
about
the
this
day,
fucking
what's going to happen is, like I said before, it was already in the play years ago that Shakur was going to be fast tracked. Shakur was
I agree.
already doing 8 rounders by his third fight. He was going to be fast tracked. I don't understand why y'all are so upset about this. It's going to be what it's going to be. I told her to move up for at 135. Am I lying? I've been was telling him to move 135 because it's no
Because you told him that
point
he
in
should move to
staying at
135. He should move
130.
to 135.
He should move to
Like, no.
135.
Why should he pull the same move that Shakur moved when he dodged Navarrete and
And
he
oh,
dismissed the
then there
Warrington
you
fight?
go with
Why
this.
should he
He does
move to
never.
135?
I'm gonna tell you why,
He
and
did. He
I'm gonna
did.
tell you
He
why
did.
because
He did.
Hearn.
He did.
Okay, I mean,
And
well,
he
I'm not gonna
dodged
go back and
Warrington. He did. He did.
okay. I mean, that's fine. Like you go. I'm not gonna debate you on that. So it is cool. It's cool. I'll
And I
let you have
bet that
that
he
opinion.
wished that he wouldn't have dodged that Warrington fight because he saw when Warrington took that loss, he knew he could have beat him. So
You mean
you
the
know
same
what?
Warrington? You talking about
Hindsight.
the same Warrington
You
who
know,
dipped out on Top Rank and went to match room? That Warrington?
yeah, that
Yeah.
Warrington. He still
Yeah.
got that fight, that unification fight.
Yeah. That's cool. That's
Did
cool.
he not?
And
Did he
and
not?
and so
Did he not?
so what
Did he
checkmate
not?
just said
Did he
though,
not?
ho. What
Did he
checkmate
not?
just said though,
Did he
hold up.
not?
Checkmate made a point
Okay,
though. He got
that
a
means yes.
checkmate. How much money did Shakur get for his last fight again?
1.5 million.
How much money did Eddie Hearn and Matchroom offer Shakur to fight Warrington? $1 million. Case closed.
Okay,
So we can move on from that. So at the end of
so
the day,
what?
case closed.
Well,
Okay, but we
no, that they don't.
all
What's
right,
your
but why
point? What's
why
your
would I
point?
go
What's
all the
your
way to
point?
the UK?
What's your
Why would I
point?
go to
What's
the
your point?
UK to fight for 1 million when I can stay here in the States and fight for 1.5?
You dodged that fight. So
I
he's
know,
not
yeah,
really
cool,
in
that's
it
fine,
for
that's fine.
legacy and stuff
All
like
right,
that. He didn't want the
yeah,
he
yeah,
didn't want
right,
the
right.
unification belt. He didn't want the
Well,
unification
at
belt.
the end of the day, this is what's going to happen. Shakur's going to be the WBO champion,
So
and
so what
Shakur's
you're
going
saying is
into a
that you're all right
going.
that he passed up on the unification fight for
Uh,
Warrington. I just want to make that clear. That's what you okay with that, right?
Passed up. He moved up in weight.
Yes.
hey, hey,
He
Ron.
moved
Me
up in weight,
personally,
bro. Yeah, what up?
Ron,
Oh my God,
I would
What?
have went to
you are
UK.
really campaigning for
I
Shakur.
would have
Just like
went to
for nothing. Like
UK,
this guy hasn't done
beat
nothing.
him.
He hasn't done
If it
absolutely nothing.
okay,
Go ahead.
okay,
Go
Nayka.
ahead. Go
We
ahead.
know
Jump in.
you just don't
Go ahead.
like Shakur. I get it. And you know what?
Yeah.
He's half
Go ahead.
Puerto Rican too. So you know you hating your brother.
Yeah, when he feels like it. When he feels
Ah,
like it. When have you seen
But I would
Shakur?
have went. I
When
would have
have
went
you
to
seen Shakur
UK to. I would have went to UK if I was
ever
Shakur
claim
to
Puerto
fight
Rican?
Warrington.
Really? He did that
I would
one
have beat
time
his
when he
ass in
thought
the
that he was gonna
UK.
get the fight against Ortiz. That's when he claimed that he was Puerto Rican. No. Let me say this because you were trying to make a
mm.
joke right now. You're gonna you
I
were
wasn't
trying.
making a joke. I was
No.
telling the
I'm
truth.
gonna mute you because I'm gonna say what I want to say. You were trying to make a joke right now because Shakur only claimed that he was Puerto Rican when he thought that he was gonna get the fight against Ortiz. Oscar Valdez, sorry. That's when he was claiming that he was Puerto Rican. Because he wanted to make it like a Puerto Rican and Mexican viral thing. Like before that, he's never claimed that he was Puerto Rican. Ever. So don't even throw that in
Shit.
there. Please. I
Okay,
don't
but
want
you
to
didn't
hear it.
have to meet.
And then
I've never
when the
talked
fight
over
fell
you.
through, he wasn't gonna get Oscar Valdez. When did you see him say that he was Puerto Rican again? Huh? I want to know.
Okay, I got.
When
But
did Shakur say that he was Puerto Rican?
I'm not. Again,
When
I
did
just
Shakur
made
say
the
he was Puerto
statement.
Rican?
All
I
right,
just made
but
the statement. That's
we
it.
we got
I
we
have
hear you,
nothing else to
Naka.
say about the Puerto Rico, the
But checkmate.
Boricua
I do
part of it.
agree with you on a point you did made. It was a reason why they did boost up Shakur last paid though, and that is the reason, and I agree
To
with that.
make
But you didn't.
to make
Right?
that average, that to make it
Yeah,
irrefutable. Because if the clause is on the
I
books,
got you.
this is how we're going to go. This is how we're going to do that. That's how we're going to do that. Now, the thing about Jamel Herring, he's a champion. He's a man. He's established. You know the way it's pride. Like, how are you going to pay me 37% to somebody who's fresh in the game, who hasn't fought anybody, but yet you want to pay him more than me, and I'm the champion? It's a pride. Listen, they try to
And I
force
understand
him
that part.
out. Period.
And I understand that part. But the business part of it, it's still it's
Bob
still.
Arum did
I
it.
got you, and that's fine. Bob Earn the one who decides on the check. I get that, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, man, it's going to be what it's going to be, and it comes down to Shakur getting that WBO belt, and it's going to come down to Shakur going out of that WBC. And if he luckily can make 130, he'll get that IBF too. Then you can forget about that WBA. They ain't even going to be able to get up in there. But that's the play. That's been the play from
Oh, Tank got the
2019.
WBA.
Once again,
You
good
mean at
luck trying to get
130?
that WBA.
Yeah,
Good
Tank
luck
ain't
trying
defending that
that,
WBA
that
130 belt ever again.
WBA and the PBC
Hold up.
hostage program.
You
And
say
then
y'all saying Tank ain't gonna fight at 130 again?
Hell no,
no,
he's not gonna fight at 130 again.
I'm telling you,
Okay,
Fat Boy
how
is
much you
going.
want to bet, Hitman? Let's bet
No, I'm
a
telling you,
measly
Fat Boy.
$5 bet. Look, I normally do $100 bet. I was just five. Listen, the
No.
point
He's
is
not fighting at
he is going
130.
to fight at 130 again.
Nah,
Who's
no,
he
he's
gonna
not.
fight
No,
at
he's not.
130?
Fat
Who
Boy ain't
thinks
fighting at
he's gonna fight at
130.
130?
Okay,
Fat Boy ain't fighting.
hey, stop calling him Fat Boy. Stop.
Fat Boy
Listen,
ain't fighting at 130.
you know he ain't been. Let's stop. He ain't been fat in a minute. Stop it, hater. Listen, my point is this.
Fat Boy ain't fighting at
Stop it.
130.
You can
They
call
don't
him.
even want Fat
Listen.
Boy to fight at 130 because if he fight at 130, that means he got to see that youngin' out of Brooklyn, and they know
We know
damn
that you're
well
not a
Fat
you
Boy don't
definitely are
want
not a
no
big
Who is the
smoke with
brother.
young
that
And
youngin'
and
from
I
out
who
be
is
of
that
Brooklyn.
young
yelling
and
at
out
him
of
on him
Brooklyn?
all the time.
Oh,
On
you
Twitter.
Are you
go do
talking
your
about
research.
Colbert? Are you talking about Colbert?
Go do your research.
Are you talking about Colbert?
You
Tank.
know, I have a
You know,
question.
you know what, you know what?
I have a
Listen,
question, Ron. Why don't you
Yeah.
like why
I'm
don't
gonna
you
get
like
you,
David?
Ron.
Because y'all from
Oh,
Baltimore,
DC
no?
ass nigga.
No. DC and Baltimore ain't the
Listen,
same.
Baltimore and DC are two
Baltimore
different
ain't the
cultures.
DMV. It is two different
I thought
worlds.
you were from Boston.
Ba-
I thought you
they
were
don't
from
even have the
What?
Boston.
same. Everything is different. The music is
It's two
different.
different
You
worlds,
know what I
Slim.
mean? The
It's
culture is
two different
different.
worlds.
Period. 30
It's
miles
two
apart.
different worlds.
Different. and that's why Ron
Well,
hate him.
Nah,
Ron
that ain't,
can't
that's
even
not why
give him
Ron
his
hate him.
props
I fuck with
on
Malik
his
Hawkins.
talent.
I fuck with the real ones.
hey,
I like Malik Hawkins. I'm a huge Malik Hawkins fan, even though he got punished by my man
Mm.
Sabril. I'm a huge Malik
Malik, the
Hawkins.
other Malik
I like
Warren.
hey,
Truck
Malik,
Simp.
you mean Malik
I like
Warren?
Truck.
Malik
Huh?
Warren is good. Malik Hawkins is trash. Malik
yeah.
I mean,
Hawkins
I
is not
still
that
like
good.
Malik Hawkins. He cool. I like him. I mean, he can get beat
He
up.
is
I mean, he
not a
got
good
beat up, but
fighter.
he's still cool.
Hey,
I
Hey,
Malik
still
hey,
like
Hawkins
him.
He
went
is
for
I don't. He don't
not
have
a
to
real
be
good
a
fighter.
winner
business
for me to
though.
like him.
Malik Warren
hey,
is good, but
I mean,
Tank
I
is
like Hawkins. I like
generational
Malik
talent.
Hawkins. So it is
Okay,
hey,
what it
but
is.
Ron,
Tank got to
Ron,
fight another
Yeah. What's
generational
up, son?
talent.
Ronnie Fresh. I'm gonna tell you this, man.
You know what,
I
Hitman?
Hold on.
like.
I'm gonna shake the hell out of you
Hold,
because you
hold
keep
on. Let my
asking who
man
Tank
Julius rap.
fighting,
I ain't
but you
heard
never
Julius talk all
mention
time.
who those
Slim, hold
other
up.
people
Check me.
fighting. You wait. Let me just respond to Hitman, and then I'll pass the baton to my man Julius.
No,
Listen,
no, you gonna
y'all
pass the
always
baton to
keep
me because I'm
asking
gonna
who
let you finish
Tank.
this. All right, go ahead.
Y'all keep asking who Tank fighting, but nobody asking. Like Tank last three fights, Barrios, Jose, Leo Santa Cruz, and Gamboa. Now Tank last fight was Barrios. Okay. Now Loma
Hall
last
of
fight was
Fame run.
Nakatani. I'm not done. Loma last fight was Nakatani. Devin's last fight was Linares.
Linares.
Okay, and then Ryan last fight was Campbell. Okay, who had the best fight? Who fought the better competition out of all those guys?
Linares is
Haney.
20 times better than Barrios. What the hell are you talking
You know
about?
what? I'm gonna shake the
Haney.
shit out of you. I'm gonna
You ain't
shake the
gonna
shit.
do
Haney.
nothing.
I'm sick of
Bro,
your shit, hat
Barrios
man.
lost one
You
of
ain't
his
gonna.
last fights.
Shit.
What are
I'm
you
saying.
talking about?
Listen, I'm sick of your shit,
Barrios is
hit man.
unproven.
I'm sick of your shit.
And
Listen,
I'm
a
sick of
person,
you
y'all,
running your damn mouth.
listen.
Barrios is unproven.
Listen, but y'all hating. Listen,
Nobody's
y'all gonna make the
hating.
hawk come
Bro,
out. Listen,
who was the
my
best fighter
point is
Tank's
this:
fought?
you don't. I'm trying to answer you. You listen. That's just like asking who Boots Ennis fought, or who Gary Antoine Russell fought. Gary Antoine Russell was
It's
the
not
best
the
fighter
Devontae
same.
at
Davis has been a
140.
It's
champion
not
since
the same
Okay,
because
2017.
neither one of them
let
are
me get this out.
champions.
Let me get this. I'm trying to
How is
prove
it
a
the
point.
same and
My
neither
point
one
is
of them
this.
are champions?
My point is this: you don't have to you can see a person's talent and recognize their talent. You keep saying who they fought, but then Tank beat Barrios is better than all those fighters. Linares has lost what, 5 fights? Come on, stop it.
Linares is a former unified world champion.
It doesn't
Bruh.
matter.
Barrios
He's a
ain't done
former and
nothing compared to
he's
Linares.
losing and everybody's beating him. So now what?
Okay, Barrios lost one of his last fights. Barrios is unproven. Barrios
Okay,
was not
Barrios
a
lost to
legitimate belt
Tank.
holder. A regular belt holder doesn't mean nothing. He's
Barrios
not a
lost
super
to
champion.
Tank.
Josh Taylor
Linares
is the
has lost
undisputed.
five
No, shut
fights.
up. I'm
Next.
talking. Josh Taylor is the undisputed
Linares lost 5
140-pound
fights.
champion.
Next.
Tank didn't fight no
Linares
Josh
has
Taylor.
never been
Tank didn't
elite.
fight no
Next.
Regis
It
Prograis.
doesn't matter.
Tank didn't fight
Linares is a
no Subriel
C
Matias. He
plus
fought a guy at the back end of the
C
top 10.
rated
Mario
fighter.
Barrios does
Next.
not prove anything at all. Tank is not no top 10 pound-for-pound fighter like you think he is. Leo Santa
Tank is
Cruz, I'll give him
100% a
credit for that
top
because Leo
10
Santa Cruz proven.
talent. I
But
don't.
shut up. I'm not finished talking,
No,
jabroni.
you didn't answer the question. Answer the question before
Bro,
you
let
tell
me
me to shut
finish
up,
talking
idiot.
before you
Hey,
start
Answer the
interrupting me,
fucking
you
question.
idiot.
Who
That's the
has
problem. You
Linares
don't know when
beat
to
to
real
shut the
quick,
hell up.
qualify him?
You keep running your
Who
damn
is
mouth.
Linares' biggest
God
win?
damn. You asking a question and I'm answering it. You're asking a question and I'm answering it. Shut your mouth and let me finish, all right? Leo Santa Cruz, I'll give him credit for that, but Leo was a small guy, right? Gamboa. Wow, Gamboa. Gamboa gets beat up and passed around like a thought on the Vegas Strip. You wanted to tell me who is the best opponent Gervonta Davis has fought. He's been a world champ. He's been a world champion since 2017. Best guy he fought was Pedraza and Santa Cruz. In between that, he fought Cellular, lost to Mares. He fought who was that? Ricardo Nunes. Who was Ricardo Nunes? Who's Ricardo Nunes? Before
a
Ricardo Nunes, who did he
122,
fight? A
a,
dude coming up
a
from what?
120,
118 on late notice? Come on, you give it. Look, I like
122. He
Tank. You
was a
giving Tank
122
way
pounder.
too much credit. He's been a champion since 2017. Hasn't come close to unifying. Hasn't fought the top 5 in the division. Hasn't fought the top 3 in the division. But yet you
Hey,
run. But
Hitman,
yet you run your mouth about in a way how he isn't top 10 because
Hitman,
he fought don't it, bro?
Hitman. You
Who's
forgot one
Tank's
key
best
thing though.
opponent, bro? Who is
Hitman, you
these
forgot one
amazing
key thing.
fighters Tank has been fighting? What is this Hall of Fame resume Tank has for you to put him in the top 10 for because he has generational talent? If that's the case, Boots Ennis is number 1 over everybody because he got more talent than everybody in boxing put together.
Well,
Answer that damn question.
Hey,
Hitman, I'm gonna say this. My opinion, I like Boots. I'm under the impression that Gary A. Russell, to me, is the best up and coming fighter, and soon, whenever he get the chance, and that's potential. That's not necessarily facts, but it's potential. I feel that he's the best in the division. I believe he's ready for everybody today. He don't have to wait. He don't have to take no more tune-up fights. None of that. He's ready to fight these guys tomorrow. He's what, 22, 23 years old? Man, look, guys were winning world titles at 19, 20, 21, unifying at 21, 22. The man ready to fight any of them. Boots Ennis is ready to fight anybody right now. I don't know what all the, what I'm saying? Now, this is where I think that Al Heyman, he's not a full Al Heyman fighter. So that might have something to do with why he's not wiping out Keith Thurman and guys like that. But it's time, though. It's straight up 100% time. I'm ready for some new blood. But what I was going to say to you, Ronnie Fresh, is I like Chris Colbert, but I have to be honest, man. The first time that Tank hit him with a big shot, his leg's going to crumble. I think he knocks Chris Colbert out.
And that's fine. He got to hit him
100%.
first. And that might be true, but he got to touch him first. And that's my point. At the end of the day, one thing for sure, Floyd ain't going to risk it. I bet you Floyd ain't going to put him in the ring with that.
Let me say this. Floyd talking about throwing him in there with Keith Thurman. And let me say this.
I would too. Keith Thurman inactive. He better.
He's inactive, but it's always a danger throwing a fighter 4 weight classes up with a guy that can punch a little bit. But as far as I wanted to touch on Boots and Gary A. Russell, man. I like Virgil Ortiz, but I actually think Virgil Ortiz gonna lose the Mean Machine. Now that's my opinion because I was looking at the Hooker fight. I
wanted to piggyback on you, Gary Antoine Russell. Man.
Yeah,
Gary Antoine Russell could be, if he fought right now, he is the best 140. He will be undisputed. If he get that fight, he will be undisputed. It's not even a question. But media don't talk about him. Nobody pushes him. Okay, so we're talking about talent. I recognize great talent. Gary Antoine Russell has great talent. Boots Ennis has great talents. Gervonta Tanks Davis has great talent. So my point is, if we're talking about the best fighters, these people should be mentioned. These people should be talked about. And then all of a sudden, people like to say, well, who they fought, but then they can't. Then they talk about Linares. You can't even mention the Linares best win, but you want to talk about naming this just because Loma beat him. All of a sudden, okay, so Devin beat him. Okay? He's lost what, 4 or 5 fights? He's not elite. Okay, so
so Barrios is elite.
Barrios? Hey, I never said Barrios elite. He's a 140. He was a 140 champ. He's 5'10" and fighting at 140 pounds.
He was a practice champ.
He's not no practice. He beats everybody. Look, he beats all. He beats.
Josh Taylor is the champ at 140 pounds. Gervonta Davis has not fought Josh. Did Gervonta Davis fight Josh Taylor?
We're not talking about Josh Taylor. Stop trying to kick the. We're talking about Tank compared to the other people at 130 and 135. We're not bringing up Josh Taylor because none of them have fought him yet.
The question. Who is
there's not a question to answer.
Pounds. Is it Josh Taylor or is it Mario Barrios? Who's undisputed champion at 140 pounds?
What you're saying is not even. We're talking about the one. That has nothing to do with it, sir. That's not the question.
Barrios or is it Josh
That's not
Taylor?
the question. We all know who the undisputed champion is. That's an irrelevant question.
All right, let me ask a question. Can we go back?
Wait.
Checkmate. Just checkmate. Can somebody else get some?
I want to change subject. I want to change subject because y'all been going at this like y'all were doing the Canelo thing for like a whole fucking hour. It needs to be something else because y'all been talking about this for almost 45 minutes and we were talking about Canelo for an hour. Or maybe I should just stop the stream. It's been like 2 hours. Ooh.
Hold on.
Want to keep talking shit.
Let me ask him about Antoine. So where do we rank Antoine? And I'm from DC. So where do we rank
Nayka,
Antoine Russell at 140?
Hey, well, let me say this. I will rate
Why
it.
you keep muting me?
Why you keep
I'm
muting me?
muting everybody. I mute everybody. Checkmate. Don't get in your feelings. I'm muting everybody.
I'll
because
say
I'm trying
this.
to say something. Everybody's talking, so I mute everybody. I didn't just mute you.
Okay.
I mute everybody.
Okay.
Ronnie
Okay.
Boy Fresh. This
Yeah, go ahead,
this is
Julie.
what I'll say, Ronnie. Ronnie, I'll say this. You asked where do you rate him, right?
Yeah.
According to the guys that he has fought, I can't rate him in necessarily in the top 10. But let me say something. Let me say why. It's only because
I
he
disagree.
hasn't had
Go
the
ahead.
opportunities. He hasn't had the opportunities. But I'm a back it with a stat. When Felix Trinidad won the welterweight title at 20, he hadn't fought anybody. He came right in,
Yep.
knocked Maurice Blocker out cold. When
And
Floyd
Maurice, my
Mayweather
man. Maurice, my
when
man.
and yeah, I like the thin man. Hey, I'm right up here. I'm from North Carolina, man, but I live in
Right.
Laurel now, so I'm
Okay,
right up
I
here
live in
with you,
Laurel.
bro.
That's where my house is
Yeah,
in Laurel. So we in the same city.
okay. So we gonna hook up, brother. But
Yeah,
we
I
watch
like you,
some
Julius. You
fights.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like you too, man. But let me say this.
Good.
I feel that the first time because Gary is just like Boots in that they got that Olympic pedigree, man, and these boys can fight. The problem is no one is gonna want to fight them because they're gonna say, well, nobody knows you. And I get so sick of that. That's Nayka. I'm gonna
But
tell you the
Julius,
one thing I
but
get
Julius,
tired of hearing boxers say is that nobody know you. But in other sports, guys go against people that they don't know. I
but
don't get it.
Julius, but Julius, he got the best engine behind him. He got Fox PBC. So what's the problem?
Well, it's the weight class, 140. I
140
mean,
is the second best. 140 is even the best, or if not, no
no,
lower than the
no,
second best
I'm
weight class
just
in all of boxing.
no, I'm just saying Al would get him the fights, but 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be fights on people that he can put him in with. So the only fighters PBC got at 140 are like Robert Easter, Tank Davis, and Tank is floating from
No,
30 to
you
40.
forgetting a whole
So
you forgetting about a whole slew of other fighters. You forgetting about Brandon Lee. You forgetting about Sabril
But
Matias.
they're not Al Heyman fighters. I was saying
Why
you were
why
saying
why
who
are
could he fight potentially.
why is
But
this
but
Sabril?
listen,
Yeah, go ahead.
but he'll stop Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee is a good fighter, but listen, he knocking out guys that are below average. I mean, club fighters. These guys fight on matchroom cards. That's who he knocking out right now. I I believe the first time Brandon Lee step up against somebody with talent level
Oh,
like Gary Russell, he gonna get beat.
oh, that's fine, and I can see that. But we can't just discredit all these other 140 pounders because I've been saying it for years that 140 is hands down one of the best divisions in all of boxing. I don't give a fuck about a popularity contest. That
Yeah,
popularity shit is for y'all
I,
casuals. It's not for
hey,
me.
hey, look,
It's not for real boxing fans.
I say this to anybody. Gary A. Russell would beat Josh Taylor tomorrow in a fight in England.
Okay.
He would beat him in
100%.
England.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's
In
a
They need to
England.
bold statement.
Absolutely.
then
In
what they
England.
need to do, and then
Absolutely.
what they need to do is figure out a way to make that. Well, actually, Antoine need to get up in the ring. Where Antoine at?
Well,
Well,
that's the
Antoine can't
thing.
even get the Broner fight.
His next fight is supposed to be like a WBA number one
Right.
ranked fight or something along them
Nah,
lines.
it can't be
But
a
I'm
number one rank fight.
well,
Well, Gary Antoine Russell
however,
is ranked number 4
It can't be the
so
number
he's
one rank
about to
fight
come up.
because
He's
the number
climbing.
one
They
rank.
got him ranked number 4.
Right.
Go ahead.
well, I'll say this too. I think the tough guy from Puerto Rico,
Sabril
the
Matias, my
one that
man,
yeah,
Sabril Matias. Sabril Matias.
I like that. Hey, I like, and I'm gonna
Sabril
say
is a
this too.
savage.
Nayka, I gotta speak out against the Puerto Rican fans. Why they ain't behind him?
The Puerto
Huh?
Ricans are behind him. Puerto Ricans
Well,
behind
What
I
are
him.
you
I
haven't
have a
talking
seen
house
about?
in
him at his
What are you
fights.
talking about?
I was at
I
his
have
What
a
are you
house in
talking
I was
about?
at
Aquadale,
his
bro.
fight.
They
I
behind
was
him.
at his fight, the one that he killed the guy in DC. I was at that
I
fight.
was there too, and you saw the
I
whole
didn't
Puerto
see,
Ricans. No, that's not true, Julius, because you
bro.
know
I didn't
damn
see
well
but a
they were
few of them,
screaming.
I'm
No,
glad.
man.
I'm
that's
glad
not
that
I
you
true.
seen
clear
about 10
That's
of
Ronnie
not
them.
Boy
true,
Fresh
Julius.
because
I
he is
was
really
at the
doing the
fight.
most right now. Tomorrow, I need to speak. I need to speak against the Puerto Rican fans. What?
Right? No, no, no. I
What are
was
Mhm.
you
at that fight.
talking
No,
They
about?
I'm
was they.
talking
What are
about
you
for
No, no,
talking
him.
no.
about?
No,
They were
I
What
was
are
there.
you
only
They
talking
were
talking
there.
about,
about
They
him.
were there.
I was only talking about with
They were
Matias.
there.
I
They
didn't
were
see
there.
them coming out to his fights like that. That's all I
They were
said.
there.
I'm not talking
They
about
were
Puerto
there.
Rican
No,
fans
no. They were
anywhere.
there.
Look,
They were there.
look,
They were there.
look, let
You
me
know they
say
were
this.
there.
But
They
hold
were
on a
there.
second. I'm gonna say this. Matias Matias, me, you, Nayka, we all look the same. You couldn't tell if we were Puerto Rican, black, or whatever, black American or what. So it ain't nothing against Puerto Rican fans. I was just saying I want to see them rally behind him because he's a knockout artist, and I feel that with the right matchmaking,
that's true because I'm telling you, they do. That's
I
what I'm
was
trying to
at that
tell you.
fight. I didn't see it.
I
That's
was
all I was
too.
talking about. The
And, you know,
fight
and
I
you
was at.
missing
I saw like 10
okay.
fans, bro.
How big is the
10
MGM?
fans, and you
How big
reaching,
is no.
dog. You're
But
reaching. You
this is the
fucking
thing,
reaching,
Naka.
Well, how
Julius.
many fans were that?
Julius,
No,
you.
Nike. No, really. How many fans?
You're reaching.
Ronnie,
hold up,
tell me
hold
how
up,
many
hold up, hold up.
I
fans.
know you're reaching.
Hold up,
I
hold up.
wasn't
No,
there,
no.
but I know that
This
you're
Tell
is
reaching.
the
me,
answer to this, Julius.
tell me
This
how
how we
many
answer.
fans
Who
though.
had more fans? Who had more fans? Dashav or Matias at that fight? Who
Oh,
had more fans? Dashav or
100%,
Matias?
100%. It was Matias, but you telling me, like, hold on a second. But hold up though. I don't want you to make me look like I'm crazy in front of Nayka. Say how many fans it was. Don't just say.
Yourself.
I can
No,
tell you. It was
no,
about.
it was only like 10 to 15 people. I'm not
Oh,
exaggerating.
you moving it up a
I'm
little
not
bit.
You are
exaggerating.
It was more than
exaggerating.
that.
You are
It Nike,
exaggerating.
it was more
You
than
are
that. But at the
exaggerating.
end
How
of the
many
day,
was it then? How many was it,
more
Matt,
than
Ronnie?
Exaggerating.
How many
it was
was
at
it,
least
Ronnie?
okay. Can I? All right. It was at least because I was on the floor on the I was with the side where they come out at. So it was a section in. So that was 3 rows. So that's about 15 and another 10. I say like 30, 50 in between 30 and
Okay,
50.
so I say 15, and you will
I
say
say in between
between
30 and 50.
35 and 50. No, I said
Yeah,
15. You said 35 to
about 30
50.
to
So
30 to 50.
okay, gotcha. So we're not talking about hundreds of fans, right?
But you
So when
understand
was
that
this fight?
how
When was
many
this
The
did
fight?
Dashav
MGM
have?
is out of 1,800. I gotcha.
No, but
But I
when was
just
this fight though? It was
this
during
was
the
a couple
pandemic.
years ago.
This was in
It was
this was
no,
this
no,
was
no,
in
no, no, no.
2019.
No, that
2019.
was 2019. He killed the guy
2019.
in the ring. Remember?
Right.
He,
That was the
you remember that,
Tiafimo fight.
Nike?
That was the
He,
Tiafimo fight.
Yeah, I do.
yeah,
Yeah, I
And
remember
yeah.
that.
this is what
And
I'm trying to tell you
so
though. This is what you don't understand is how many fans did Dashav have?
zero. His wife.
Okay. So technically, so it was a hometown fight. So basically, in that crowd, that fight was for Matias, right?
Yeah, so why
Well,
you
that
let
was
that cry
everybody
out,
was
And
Julius?
rooting
Why you
for
Matias
him.
let that
wasn't
cry out,
even the
Julius?
draw.
Why you let that
Hold
cry
Matias
on.
out?
Oh
wasn't
no,
even the
no,
draw.
I didn't say that. I was rooting for the guy. I wouldn't have made that statement if I didn't believe in him. I wouldn't have
Well,
made the statement
Now
that I
Puerto
felt
Rican
like
fans
Puerto
are not
Rican
cocky
fans.
fighters. Like you really
okay.
reaching.
Well,
No,
this
I
is what
did
I'm gonna
not
say
say
about that.
that. I said him. I said him, Nayka. I said him. I'm talking about
But
Okay,
Julius,
Matias.
this is what
all
I'm
I'm not
telling you.
talking about all Puerto Rican
right,
fighters.
We talking about
But
Super
Okay.
Young
but
Tears?
but
And
Julius, this
Dog.
is what I'm telling you. These are the facts. I just created 2 facts that you just confirmed. So at the end of the day, this is what I'm telling you.
what was
Here's the
that? I
other
did
fact.
not confirm. You said 30 people and I said 15.
He
So
had
we
more than
ain't that
Dashev.
far off, bro.
He had more than Dashev, and it was people there. That's what we were saying. That's what I
Okay.
was saying.
I just
Okay, so
all
those two
right.
things.
I just feel like I feel like he a
And
up
he
and coming
wasn't a main
guy.
event. So Matias
No,
wasn't
he
even a
wasn't.
main event. So we're
But
talking
no,
about a fighter that wasn't actually he wasn't even a was that even a co-main?
that was
No,
the that was the
I
fight.
don't
It was a that was a
no, I
televised fight. It was a
was it because I
televised
was
fight.
at the fight, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I was it the
Yeah,
co-main?
I was at the fight, but I can't
Yeah, but
remember
was
who
it
were
the
the
co-main?
co-main. But it was right before Haney. Haney fought like
Wait a minute, is that the fight was Michaela Mill? No, that wasn't it. I go to so many. Yeah, no, that was the
yeah,
co-main. That was the co-main.
right. That was the
Right.
co-main
All right,
event.
that
That
was the
was the
That
co-main.
that was
TVs
a
and
low key
So
flex. That was a low key flex. I go to so many.
I mean, I do. You know
no,
I
when you
do.
talking
You know,
about any fights here in the D, look, I would
I've been
say
to. Go ahead.
this too, Nayka. When DC have a fight,
Yeah,
the same type of people come out to the event.
exactly.
You get what I'm
You going
saying?
to the joint in
And
Southeast, right?
huh?
You going to the joint in Southeast, right?
In South
Over
Beach?
there. Yeah, the joint over there in the boxing. In that in the little boxing. I haven't been over the new boxing little gym. I'm not gym, but the arena, the little 2,000
I'm
gym
in
over there in
Miami now.
Southeast.
So what fight is this?
What's that?
Who? South
Um,
Beach
I,
or South
I think
East?
Dusty Hernandez is fighting on that card and all them.
No,
But
he's talking about here in DC.
in
He's talking about
DC,
here in
Oh, I
DC.
thought he
He's
said
not
because
talking about
he's
that.
Southeast.
talking
I
about
thought he
He's
said
when
talking
when
about
DC had fights, we come out.
the where they just
I thought
opened
you
like
said
this
South Beach.
Yeah, that's what I
stadium,
said. The new joint.
the Washington the
Yeah, the
Washington
one in South
Wizards
Beach. I haven't been
practice
over there
facility.
because they
Yeah,
keep.
that's
Yeah,
what that is.
exactly. Yeah,
It's the
they
Washington Wizard practice facility. But
Yeah.
Nayka, I will repeat again because you are Puerto Rican. I was not trying to exaggerate. I said 15 people. He said 30 people. So
Yeah,
I was
you
only
know it was more
saying
than
for
15.
that guy talent, to me, that guy
But
talent is gonna be. I think he can win a world title, but I don't believe
absolutely.
he'll get the Josh Taylor fight because I don't think that Josh Taylor would fight him because that's a real dangerous fight
Well,
because he hits hard, unlike Ramirez. You know what I'm
well,
saying? That fight could end at any moment. You know?
yeah, yeah, and you do know Sabril Matias was with Top Rank, and so what happened with that
Right.
was they were going to probably show Sabril Matias because he was going to be a problem.
Yeah. I mean, look, man. When you
They were
got a
going to probably
guy that
show.
can punch, when you got a guy
And
that
then
can
hold
punch
up,
that don't have a
hold up,
fan,
hey Julius. And I
yeah.
hate to have to bring this up. Remember Clement?
Okay.
You was at the fight, right? Remember
Uh-huh.
Clement's face when he saw when at that fight? Did you see his
Hey,
face?
man, listen. You talking about why Matias was the fight, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah. Did you
Matias.
see Clement's face?
It was messed up, man.
Yeah, he was like, "What the fuck? Y'all just set my man up and all that." Like Clemens was
Yeah,
like Clemens looked sad, bro. Like I was like,
yeah.
"Damn." It was
And
a
and
bad
and
like he was
and
so upset in that fight, bro. Like it was
All
slim.
right,
That shit was
guys. So
crazy.
I
Yeah, go
have
ahead.
I want to say something real quick. So
yes.
Round Boy Fresh,
Yes.
you're gonna be here next Tuesday for your rematch with your
I am
redo
flying.
with. Are you
Go
flying
ahead.
out again
Yeah,
on Tuesday?
I let I am flying out. I
On
think I am.
Tuesday.
But yeah, I fly on. That's the best days, man. Like Monday, I see on Monday or Tuesday. I let you. No, no, no. I'm good. No, no, no. It's Monday. My bad. It's Monday. I'm flying out
Okay,
Monday.
because Tuesday everybody's been waiting for the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
redo
I know.
because
I know. I'm flying out
you missed the
Monday
last
though. I'm flying out
matchup.
Monday.
Oh, you doing another versus thing, Nika?
Well, yeah, because
Cause the,
well, every other
cause come
Tuesday.
on, Slim.
So he
Come on,
he
everybody wants Slim to. Everybody wants Slim
Well,
to
yeah,
bury
because he didn't get
somebody.
to do his. He was at the
Yeah, I was
airport
flying.
last week, and
Yeah.
he didn't get to do
I,
his internet and everything was out of whack, so we didn't get to
I
do
had to
him
put a
against
case
Dipper.
on them peoples out there too for that busted ass Wi-Fi. I put a case on
Yeah,
Starbucks and all of them out there.
Nah, I had a couple people
no,
calling me
and then
out too.
I have MVO, which is the most valid opinion. He's gonna go against um, damn, what's his is I'm on that bullshit again. He was like a former Spence
Oh
fan,
hell
but
nah!
he's gonna
Why
go
you letting
against
him on the
MVO.
show, Nika?
Cause he was actually I was arguing with him on Facebook and then he was like I want to debate you on something and I was like no I'm not a moderator you could come on my shit and then you could debate somebody and I'm gonna find somebody for you so I did find somebody so he's gonna debate someone on Tuesday and he's talking a lot of shit and I'm gonna just let
Nah,
MVO handle
MVO
it.
called out the hitman too. Let's address that. What MVO
Yeah, no,
calling out the
he
hitman, huh?
did he did but you said you didn't want to be on the same platform with freaking I with I'm on the bullshit again.
No, no, no. This is what it was. You ready? MVO called out the hitman, and the hitman asked, quite frankly, who is MVO to the hitman? A nothing, a nobody, a blemish on the hitman's buttocks. He thinks he's a big dog. But look, the hitman says this. Look, the hitman wants to make this quick announcement. You ready? The hitman, he's done it all. The hitman whipped Ari's bald-headed candy ass. He whipped that four-eyed gap tooth goof art man. So the hitman says it's over. The hitman is retired. The hitman is done with the debates. The hitman did what he came to do. He came to take out the
I
two
know. So
trolls.
then MVO is he's gonna debate. I'm on that bullshit again.
Yep. But Nayka, the
So
hitman also wants to say this. Can the hitman be a judge?
yeah, he could be a judge, but not on this. I already have 3 judges for this next one.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But the hitman wants to move on. He accomplished
Yeah, no, you
everything.
could definitely be a judge on another episode, but I do already have 3 judges for this next one for. So
Hey,
and then
hey, Nayka, Nayka, hold on, I
after
gotta
this.
go. Hey, I gotta go, Nayka. I wanted to tell you, man, I appreciate it. You know, your platform, and I
Hey
like this.
Julius.
This is good. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate it. You know,
Hey
thank
Julius.
Thanks for coming on and thanks
Real
for not
quick.
doing
Hey,
your dick
hit
on
me on
here
Twitter,
because
Slim.
Yeah, look me up
Hit me
on
on Twitter.
I'm on it's Julius Street of Twitter, man. I'll get in your
All right.
DMs, Ronnie boy,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll
go
send you
hit me
my
in the
number,
DM.
man.
Yeah.
No, and
Cause
then
you right
I'm
around the
gonna
way,
just let
Slim. You
everybody
cool.
know too before, because I'm gonna end the stream too, because it's been like almost two and
Yeah.
a half
Uh,
hours.
hold
That
up,
after
Nayka.
this next, yes,
Hitman is gonna message you and Ron some big news, but he don't want y'all to tell nobody. All right.
All right.
okay, all right,
All right.
all
Y'all
right.
be easy.
So after this next versus, I'm gonna have a tournament, and it's called the boxing versus bracket tournament, which is gonna be 8 people. They're gonna be like in bracket style, and they're gonna debate each other, and then you know how the brackets work, like you know.
Is
Hey,
is that the
Naka,
one against
I
the
had a quick.
UK? Is that the
No,
one
that's
you
not the
gonna
one
have
against
against
the
the
UK.
UK?
Nah,
No,
Naka,
Oh,
that's not the
Naka.
one. It's just a
I had an
different
idea for that too. In a bracket joint, this what you going. This is the way you gonna have to do it. So everybody, uh, hey,
Say that again. Say.
I had an idea. When you do the bracket, you should have whoever's gonna be in it. Have everybody submit their 5 favorite fighters, if
Okay.
that make any sense. Because you don't want to put guys in it who like for the same fight. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
you have like 5 fight, this is why. Because when you did the bracket joint, because you don't want like me and Julius, we agree on a lot of shit. So me and him being up against each other, you know what I mean? So I will pick 5, to have dudes, whoever gonna be in the joint, have them, submit their 5 favorite fighters. So naturally, if a motherfucker say they like Fat Boy and a motherfucker say they like Josh, you gonna probably put them against each other. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, but
and
I
go
was
down
I
the
was
list
gonna
from.
try to do it like, because there's an app that you could use where you just, I was gonna do like a draft episode where I was gonna pick out the 8 names out of a jar, because there's a lot of
Nah,
people
you
who want
can't
to
do
be
it
in
that way.
the tournament. But I was gonna,
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
no,
I
but
would do.
I told him it's a boxing tournament, a boxing knowledge
Yeah,
tournament. So if you're entering,
yeah, but you
and
gotta have.
then
It's gotta be competitive. I can't compete with somebody if
I
we
know,
agree on the same thing. Like I can't compete with another Bud fan. I can't compete with another
yeah.
Shakur fan. I can't compete with another
Yeah,
Maul
I'm gonna
Chalo
have to
fan.
tweak it. Yeah. But I
Yeah,
wanted to
so
do
that's
like
what I
a
was
draft
saying.
show
Put
and then pick eight
right.
names out of a
So
jar and then like
right,
kind of
and
do it
that'll
like
work.
they were coming in a
But have
draft.
whoever. Right, no, you can do it that way. But have once you figure out who people pro fights are, who they fight, who they standing behind, whoever the 5 fighters they stand behind, then you put them in the jar. You see what I'm digging? You dig what I'm telling you?
oh yeah. Watch it.
Because you want it to
All
be
right.
competitive. Yeah. So I was
Hey,
going to DM you that shit. So make
all
sure
right,
you hit me
Nike,
up.
y'all
It's
take
allowed
care.
tweaking.
Ronnie,
I didn't
Yeah.
know it was
All
gonna
right,
be this
Julius.
much. All right, I'm gonna end
Yeah,
the
yeah,
uh,
live
yeah.
too because it's
Yeah.
like
Go
all
ahead.
almost
right,
3 hours. But
All
take
right.
care,
thanks for
y'all.
joining
All
in.
Ronnie
right. All right,
boy,
This was
Slim.
a good stream.
Ronnie
Long
boy, I'm gonna hit you
stream,
up,
but
man.
some streaming hours.
Absolutely. All right, Slim.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
Ronnie.
Bye, everybody. Thanks everybody in the chat for tuning in. Appreciate you.